My name is Minister EnQi. I am the naturopathic doctor and the spokesman for the Melanin Verse Diabetes Ministry. Every time you go to the supermarket without the electrician grocery shopping list, it's like putting a loaded gun to your head. Stop playing Russian roulette with your life. Help us make America great again. Learn how to save time. Learn how to save money with the electrician grocery shopping list on Amazon now. Go to Amazon now. The life you save may be your own.
Peace to the family. This is Abdul Ali, candidate for U.S. House District 12 here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Let's just be real, folks. The Democrats have destroyed our major cities. Their policies have made us less safe, they've given us less economic opportunity, and they've provided less educational opportunities for our children. And that's why I'm running for Congress, because I know what it takes to improve these issues. I've got great working relationships already in D.C. I've spent the last 10 years of my life building my political resume so that one of us, somebody who thinks like we do, could get into D.C. and make a difference. I want you to visit aliforcongress.com.
That's the algorithm. That's the algorithm.
All right, can y'all hear me? Okay, I see y'all in the building. My mic sounds nice. Check one. Okay, good. Good. All right, so listen. I don't even know where to start this conversation. I'm going to be honest. Okay. Yeah, I don't even know where to start this conversation, to be honest. I'm going to say whack 100. I'm going to say whack 100. Maybe I should say 10 toes down. Maybe I should say 10 toes down. But it was definitely, regardless to who I blame, it was definitely a something that I needed to do for a needed boost of motivation, right? Because I had become complacent. And let me explain to you what I mean by becoming complacent. And obviously not complacent all the way around in life, because, you know what I'm saying? Like, we did what, 50 books in 11 months? You know what I'm saying? So we've been aggressive with the research. We've been aggressive with the work. You guys, or at least some of you guys, right, have been doing your best in terms of the support, right? Cash App. Some of y'all can't remember the last time y'all sent me a cash. Cash App, Patreon, you know, staying on top of your monthly detox, your Blue Magic, making sure you're getting the books. Did I say Cash App like 3 or 4 times yet? So we've been aggressive, you know what I'm saying? We've been on our grind, but I have to say that I grew complacent just out of, you know, like, damn, I can't even say the grass is always greener, because it wasn't something else. It was just like, I don't know. I guess I just took for granted that everybody understood, you know, that everybody knew, because we had kind of done it to death. You know, the 40-day. If you don't know, we're talking about the 40-day fruit fast, right? The 40-day fruit fast. And so when we first start doing the fast, and we're gonna get into some science in a second, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna go in, you know what I'm saying? We first started doing the fast. So we did our first fast. It started, I can't remember the year, but I remember the fast was from June 3rd to July, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy, but special events usually fall on special days. So my birthday, June 30th, Chase birthday, July 9th, Tony birthday, July 13th. You know, so that whole, and what we did at the end of the first 40-day fast was we did a lecture to commemorate. You know, we was on tour anyway. Doing a lecture, doing the classes, pre-booked, like, you know, where we were going or whatever the case may be. But you know, we had set like our homecoming off the road was going to be in sync with kind of coming off the fast, and we were going to do a big potluck celebration. You know, so the fact that it was our birthdays, right, it just made it a little bit more of a special vibe. You know what I'm saying? But we, you know, everybody loved it. The results, it was a couple of things to it. The community, the camaraderie, it was a conscious thing we were doing, but we were like all doing it together. People had their kids on, and you know, it was a vibe. It was something different than what people were, you know. And people enjoyed themselves, but everybody got like amazing results, whether it was people coming back at the end, because we did a potluck, and then everybody, like, you know, talk about their experience during the fast or whatever. And you know, people had lost weight. um I started to even take that for granted. Like, a lot of people, you know, they help somebody lose like 5 or 10 pounds. They're like, oh, you know, look, they taking mad 20, they putting 20 pictures on their Instagram for somebody that lost like 8 pounds. Um, but I got so far, I guess, so good at some things, and so, you know, some things just, you know, not even. But this first fast, it was like, it was crazy. So immediately after, I want to say within like 2-3 weeks, we were doing another fast because one of the sisters who was on the fast with us, I think her son or her nephew had got hit by a car or something had happened, like a tragedy. And so we did a 40-day fast for that. And then something had happened behind that. We celebrated with another fast, and then it was the holiday. So we fasted through the holiday. And there was a time where we were doing a 40-day fruit fast, damn near 300 days a year. Like, it was crazy, right? It slowed down. It slowed down, you know, the trendiness slowed down. And once it slowed down, we were doing, once it slowed down, we were doing it twice a year. Top of the summer, and then we would do the holidays, right? The holidays more therapeutically, you know. The summer one was more like commemorative. This is when we did our, you know, like, that's more like our annual. But the Thanksgiving to New Year joint was more like the third, like, this is the time of year when people die, right? People die every day, every second, all around the world. But typically, our immune systems are at their weakest. Our cardiovascular systems are at their weakest during the November, December, January, February months, the cold season. So, you know, we just got to pay attention that we got Halloween, which is all you can eat candy, end of October. Then, 3 weeks after that is all you can eat candy, meat, starch, and alcohol, along with whatever recreational drugs, you use, drinks, champagne, whatever. And that kind of goes all the way through, you know, so because of the excess fat, the sugar, you know, um, the anxiety, the pressure to produce, right? The pressure to conform, um, all of those things, it just produces an environment that, unless you are prepping yourself, it can be hyper stressful, and that's one of the things. As you move away from 21 years old, you get weaker, right? Starting with your weakest, right? You're just a baby, right? Then you get 20, 25, somewhere around there. And that's pretty much the maximum capacity of your little force field. Your little force field is running out at that point. At that point, that little force field is, going to start to fade, right? It's going to start to fade, and you're going to have to start to have plans. Like, this is the thing that you can handle with no problem that you can't ever think of becomes a killer later on in life, right? So people fall down, they get up. Babies learn how to walk, walking, falling down, walking, falling down. They take a step, step and a half, fall down, get back up, step, step, fall and a half, get back. 70, 80, 90 years old, that same falling down kills them because they break their hip, their pelvis, and they can't heal. You know, like, so, getting back to my complacency, I guess. Um, that was our standard for a while. And then after, I guess that lasted maybe 4 or 5 years. And then we just start kind of doing it in little groups and pockets and just kind of maintaining around the holiday. Like, the holiday fast lasted longer than even our original June to July joint because of the need, I think, for people to start to, to build an alternative tradition, just to create some alternative tradition. And then there are now people, because we did it so many times in a row, they don't necessarily do the fast during the holidays, but their celebration is way different. Like, their entire cuisine, their entire menu, their entire layout. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just that. Yeah, yeah. She's saying food or cuisine. Like, it's the whole. Because the more you learn, the more you start to go, okay, yeah, it is really important for me to try to have this dinner ready by 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, that's when we should start to have this type of heavy, heavy meal. It is important for me to make sure I have actual greens, cooked salad. Like, it is important that I make sure I have a certain amount of fiber, so the meal changes, the timing changes, the experience changes, the things that you do with family changes, the memories that you make, you know, um, you could think back to yourself and you go, okay, I remember what we did this Christmas or this holiday or that holiday when we went to, we went to the club and we got so drunk that such and such threw up or such and such fell down, or like you remember those times. As you learn more and you start to change things, you create newer memories that are more in sync with the time and more in sync with who you are as a person growing than that old, cliche. And it's something that we have to discuss and like be aggressive with every holiday, right? Because the holiday, unfortunately, is the time of even suicide and depression. And like, it's the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing, but like the holiday time, and you would think that the holiday time is the loving season. And it is, and I'm a holiday person. I'm not one of the conscious, too smart to practice a holiday I'm not one of them. Right. But what I am, you know, because I'm a health guy, I'm a numbers guy, I'm a realist, right? It's just ironic, to put it, to just state it mildly, it's ironic, right? That the time that is supposed to be the most lovingest time of the year is the time when the most people are, struggling with heart disease and strokes and bank account and depression and suicidal thoughts and all kinds of crazy stuff. Um, but it is real, right? So that's where we are. So the fast allows us to start to build a cultural pattern during those time periods that work with, the real world, right? So because we normally did the fast, um, I don't know, some people was cheating. Some people was cheating. When we first, it might have been me. I might have been the person who messed it up. I'm trying to think back. It might have been me who messed. Yeah, I put the blame on myself. When we first started doing it, we started the fast like the day before Thanksgiving. So that way on Thanksgiving, you got the guilt and the peer pressure on you to eat right. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't go crazy with the family. You can't be vegan or you eating clean or whatever you're doing. You can't be on a strict diet and then just because you with family on Thanksgiving, you let it go all the way out the window. Right. And then you wake up that Friday and go, oh, I went crazy yesterday, so I might as well go crazy for the whole weekend and start fresh on Monday. And then before you know it, like, no, that's no. So that's out the window. Right. So we started right before Thanksgiving so we could have that little pressure on us during Thanksgiving to keep us walking the straight now. And that lasted for a few years, but somewhere it changed to starting up on Black Friday, right? Somewhere along the line. I'm trying to think of when it changed, so I can't, I'm drawing a blank, but I do know that the actual start of the fast had been, started being switched to Black Friday because it has some, like solidarity, to like kind of bring all that together. Like, don't, buy black on Black Friday or don't buy anything at all on Black Friday. Like both two, I'm gonna be honest, both two things that, I don't believe. I'm like, hey, what? Restrictions on Black Friday? What? Yeah, we're gonna show them a lesson. We will not buy any of this stuff while it's inexpensive. We're going to wait till all this stuff goes back to full price before we buy anything. That's how we will teach the system a lesson. No. I got babies. So when that price goes down, if I have items that I need, I got to go get that on Black Friday, family. I'm sorry. If it's a Chinese person selling it, I'd like it to be a black person. Like in my mind, I would like it to be a black person. But Korean, blonde hair, blue eyed, German, whoever, Irish, Switzerland, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? You got to do what's best. You got to do what's smartest sometimes. Philosophically and ideologically may get you in trouble in the world of practicality, right? So I guess I just took for granted that we had done it so long that everybody kind of knew it. Everybody kind of knew it. And then we had I don't know if y'all remember, but this question came up before about the 40-day fast, the 40-day fruit fast. And this is right after we did the Dope Game book. Now, remember, if you go back to the Dope Game book, we were talking about the herbs and, all of the biochemistry. But then also in that book, we talk about medicine, the effect of medicine, downstream, upstream, side effects, how to best prepare, balance those things, how some of them are created, and just so after that book, because that book goes over all of the herbs and the bitters, the sea moss, the this, that, all of the stuff, the purple phase. People were trying to understand how to implement a program of that. And they, how you going to put something? So that's where the goal book. If you don't know what's happening right now, how you doing? Nice to see you. Hit the like button, hit the thumbs. Look, I said hit the thumbs. Hit the thumbs down, hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs though. Let me know you in the building. Yeah, I prefer you to hit the thumbs down than to not to hit the thumbs at all. Wait. Yeah, I don't think any YouTubers build good platforms with that kind of philosophy. But that's my philosophy. I just hit the thumbs, period. Like, come in, hit the thumbs, right? But if you're one of the people that's been asking questions all week, like A, when are we going live? B, how all of this conversation about the fast pop back up and what's up with this. And so if you're in that group of people, then boom, you're at the right location because that's the conversation we're having, right? So after Race Hustlers Volume 3, the Dope Game, we start getting those questions. And I want to say a lot of those questions were in line with the Blue Magic Heart Challenge, right? The 100 push-ups a day, 60 and 60, right? A lot of those were because when we were doing the push-up challenge, the continuous question was, okay, so what herbs do I take with the push-ups and the workout? What's the diet? How should I be eating during the Blue Magic Heart Challenge? And I guess sometimes I'm my own worst enemy. I sometimes just too honest and just So as people was asking me, like, what's the food plan or whatever for the 120-day 100 push-up challenge, right? It's 120-day 100 push-ups. I was like, yo, I didn't intend for this to be like to become a thing. That's why I wasn't really prepared to handle when it started to really get crazy, like on Instagram and all of that. Right. I should have, if I would have been ready, I would have been prepared to do it indefinitely. I would have been prepared to do it like from a business or from a teaching or institutional. Like I would have been able to, from a professional standpoint, but I wasn't. You know, the push-up challenge started out for me. I needed, some help getting back on top of exercise and just some motivation or whatever. And I start checking around and people weren't motivated. And I'm like, well, let's all keep each other in check. And then before you know it, it started growing and we got like 100, 200 people a day, sending in push-up videos, messed up my cell phone. Eventually overloaded my cell phone, right? But it was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? We had more participation than, we were ready for. I mean, I still got pretty much almost all of everybody's videos. Well, a good portion of them. Some of them I lost. But I still got a good portion of those videos. And then obviously whatever's posted on IG still posted, right? But I said all that to say one of the goals that I had post Blue Magic Heart Challenge was putting it all together. Like going back and saying, okay, I feel great. A lot of people feel great. So the push-ups in and of itself, like that wasn't new. That wasn't a secret. We can't even pretend to like that was everybody knows the benefits of, daily or every other day, doing some calisthenics. Like that's a worldwide age old fact. Like exercise feel better. And grand opening, grand closing. So, but again, being a part of something is important. And a part of me being in the front is trying to analyze all of the shortcomings, especially mine's, and then optimize stuff to get a better experience. So once I see, oh man, damn, we should have had, the nutrition set up and the food and the this and we should have had some stuff. But it just happened naturally. You know what I'm saying? It just started with kind of like the fast though. The fast started with just me, Diallo, and Ali. It was me, Diallo, and Ali, and it wasn't really Ali. Really, he was just sitting at the table. You know what I'm saying? He just happened to be there, but it was me, Ali Muhammad, and Diallo Morgan, and I was eating like a wild maniac. And Diallo basically was threatening to expose me to the people for eating so crazy. And I'm like, yo, expose me, like it's all vegan. What you exposing? You know what I'm saying? Like, but anyway, that led to the fast and me and him going back and forth, him calling me out, that wound up leading to the fast and blah 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 blah. But so recent questions created need for answers, and how that works. We go right to the books immediately. Boop. And I noticed that it was a failure on my behalf because immediately I could look back and see my complacency when after the dope game book, we came with the gold book, right? Because with the gold book, we took the 40-day fruit fast and we scaled it out. We scaled it out, right? We put it together with the Blue Magic Heart Challenge. So now you got the exercise with the food, and we have options depending on what your personal goals are, right? You're trying to lose body fat, you're trying to build muscle, you're into your longevity bag, right? Here's the options. Here's the layout in terms of what supplementation best, complements, whatever you're trying to do on your 40, your 120-day. We got the meals kind of laid out, detailed, where you plug your herbs in, your herb kits, all of that kind of stuff, right? But where I say I was complacent at is because the 40-day fruit fast happened organically. Me and two brothers just sitting down in a restaurant talking shit to each other, right? So it evolved, right? We was on the road on tour, going city to city to city when it first started. So the parameters were kind of, the old school, like, yo, white bread, white rice, if you already vegan, like it was really, really simple, right? And then when we came off the road for a couple of weeks, that's when I got a chance to really sit down. And then not even a couple of weeks. I think we might have had like a week, you know what I'm saying, or something like that, maybe a week or two. And I got a chance to sit down and really put it together. Boom, 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 boom. And I remember me and Ali had fell out over that also. There was a lot of jealousy there. There's a lot of jealousy there. But we had fell out also because, like I said, he had some ideas. Now, he was there at the time that it started, but he didn't take part. I ain't gonna say he didn't take part. He wasn't a part of the combo. You know what I'm saying? It's like three people sit down to eat. One person is overeating, and then that's person A. Person A is overeating. Person C is kind of just, looking at checking his messages, eating his meal, relaxing, corporate. Like Ali is more like a corporate clean type of guy. You know what I'm saying? So he eating, doing his thing. And then you got the third person start cracking jokes, acting a fool on the first person. Like, what if people saw you? Yo, I'm about to take pictures. I'm about to video you eating like that, bro. That's crazy. You had like 4 cheeseburgers, lasagna, cake, pot. No, how you going on stage telling people about healthy eating and you eating like that? I'm like, ho, first of all, this is all vegan. So tell what you want. He was like, no. So he had, we argued about it. And then, so it was Diallo arguing with me for overeating where the fast was created. You know what I'm saying? So I just didn't feel like Ali's input was the same. And the ideas he was coming with at the time that he wanted me to include in the fast, it just was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy. He was saying that, and there's people that'll see this that have been around back in those days that'll remember. But he had got with this dude from Brooklyn. I think his name was George something. And damn, I wish I remember his name. Either way, dude from Brooklyn, he was really good at calisthenics. See, that's the thing about people confusing having a really well developed 6-pack or muscles or something for healthy or intelligent. Like those are all 3 separate things. Can you be really muscular and smart? Sure. But really muscular does not mean smart. And really smart doesn't mean muscular. Like all these things are separate. We got the superhero complex. So we like to just one thing we try to throw as much together. Like, nah. You know what I'm saying? So he came with this idea that, and I don't know who they was watching. I want to say maybe Gary Seldon, or at the time, because I was cussing them out so much. And listen, for all you positive, God-fearing, conscious, spiritual people that really hate the Dr. EnQi videos, it's like a lot of, you know, like those moments you be like, did he have to say MFer right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really apologize for those. But y'all have to help me. I've been thrust into this young elder position, right? This you can't just wake up and be in this position. I was thrust right into this young elder position. The elders and the young folks had created a super divide, like the part in the Red Sea, like the Red Sea, like it was. And after that divide, it was so bad for a while. And actually, the divide started with Ali and Phil Valentine going at it. You know what I'm saying? But it got so bad, it just stayed frozen like that. And then folks started dying off. And so it got crazy from there. Delbert, Francis Cress Wilson, Dick Gregory, Dr. Sabi, like it just Dr. Africa, you know what I'm saying? It just got crazy. So I'm trying to deal with my young eldership appropriately, but it's more wielding the sword than kissing babies, because that's Black folks are very animated, very emotional, very passionate. Very emotional, very passionate, right? Think about the rules of society. In polite society, right? When you're at your job or your business, what do they tell you? It's not polite to discuss what? Personal things. It's not polite to discuss politics. It's not polite to discuss religion, right? That's literally that's literally all we discuss over here. Right? So we got to be artful. Right? We've got to be artful with this thing. And Ali was just coming with this crazy stuff that him and George had cooked up about pigments being anti-nutrients. And actually George came with that, the pigments being anti-nutrients. Ali, so this is how these two team up against me. George has this idea that pigments are bad, anti-nutrients, right? So already I'm trying to get him into sun mode. Like I'm trying to get him to go into student mode and stop. Like I'm like, bro, let me work with you. I can, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me work with you. I can get you together. I can, like, let me work with you. And he just keep coming back around to. So I'm dealing with that. Mind you, on the other side, me and Ali had many problems brewing. One of the problems that we had was the concept of melanin. Right? This is a problem me and Ali Muhammad have always had, the concept of melanin, right? So, and I know a lot of y'all are saying, oh, how could y'all have a problem about that? Well, Ali's concept of melanin was that, it's just so confusing for me, even still to this day, because Ali was arguing with Sabi, because Sabi was saying that protein didn't exist. But what Ali was saying was that protein, amino acids, was fungus. Listen, so Ali was saying that tyrosine is a fungus. Therefore, when you combine anything with that, that was his whole thing, that proteins are very real, but those are fungal. That's the word he would use. Those are fungal, nitrogen-based fungal amines. Those are protein fungal, all those proteins are funguses. And so, see, listen, here's the thing, and this is why I'm saying, respect the healer, not the shooter. I've been in the street. I've been in the conscious world. I've been in the financial world. I've lived a lot of life. And I'm telling you, there is nothing crazier than conscious niggas. And I actually, you know what? Let me scratch that. There's a magical essence. Social media has something magical where it's like, now I want y'all to follow me here for a second, and because y'all laughing, acting, you know what I'm saying? Y'all acting a fool in the chat. I see. Don't think I don't see. This bullshit. Listen, I'm trying to be transparent and vulnerable with you niggas. You see, y'all ain't no good. Okay, listen, I'm trying to tell y'all something. So, I can't even be honest with y'all because y'all not behaving. Y'all not acting. That's the dog? Yes. Oh, thank God. Listen. I know I'll be going in a tangent and then I'll be segueing all over the place. Listen. Let's take it back to the top. Let's take this back to the top. 40-day fast evolved over time. Ali had some ideas, but his ideas was a little crazy. Ali's ideas were a little crazy, and so when he was talking that melanin is a fungus thing, and then George came saying that pigment is, an anti-nutrient. Him and George philosophies fit together. It's like I watched Dumb and Dumber. It was like I watched Dumb and Dumber watching these two niggas come together with these philosophies. He's saying that melanin is fungus, and he's saying that pigment is toxic. And they talk about pigment in fruits and vegetables, and they just came together and was like, oh, word, yeah. And they start sharing and building, and I'm like, oh my goodness. It's crazy. So I think, listen, now this is just, don't judge me, okay? I'm gonna say it. I was gonna tell y'all something, but then I said I'm gonna take it back. I'm gonna say it. Just don't judge me, okay? Listen. You know how they used to say that TV, right? This is a theory of mine. Okay. You know how they used to say that TV, when you on TV, it make you look like 10 to 20 pounds heavier, right? I think there's a particular magic on social media where it's the similar thing but reversed. Like instead of looking 10 to 20 pounds fatter, I think on social media people are 10 to 20% stupider. See, y'all gonna judge me. Don't judge me. I'm trying to tell you that's a real theory of mine. They're like, yo, Ink, so do you fit into that theory too? Yeah, I'm sharper in person. Listen, they came together with this crazy philosophy. And so I was just like, bro, I can't, like it was me and him partnered up on the tour. So it was weird because we met Diallo on the tour. Listen to what I'm saying. We met Diallo on the tour. I was calling the nigga D-Lo for like, I thought one of my homeboys from the neighborhood, his name is D-Lo, and so I didn't know anybody that was actually named like Diallo. Like, anyway, we met him on the road, on tour. So it was a weird dynamic that me and Ali had went on tour, right? Me and Ali created this tour. We out doing our thing. And then I meet this guy on the tour, and then me and him create something on the tour that becomes bigger than the tour. So that was another thing that made it weird with Ali, because it was like it went from me and Ali to him being like the third wheel, like, it's EnQi and Diallo, you know what I'm saying, with his fast and, whatever. So, yeah, so it just went crazy from there. It just went crazy from there. You know what I'm saying? And my goals with the fast were way different. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, this is a wild thing to do. Like trying to teach people, black folks, niggas is insane. Like this is a. Now I look back at Dr. Sebi lectures. I listen to his lectures from a whole nother vantage point. Because when he used to say that we sick, I didn't fully understand. Listen, we are a very special group of individuals. We are special. And it wasn't until, me really like deciding to put out some of this stuff in the book that I really had a chance to even sit back and think about some of these things. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, it was just such a big part of my identity and everything that we were doing that I thought, I got complacent, thought everybody would be hip to, know how to do it. Because it wasn't a complex thing. It wasn't like a food list driven, like Dr. Africa had food lists, Jew Pookrum had food lists, Dr. Sebi's got the most food lists, famous food list of all time. Like, I didn't want to come with no food list. And then I've always been very hypersensitive and respectful of my elders, meaning being able to say like I can still remember like it was yesterday eating jerk chicken, eating jerk fish, jerk salmon, you know, I can remember being happy coming up on my 5-year anniversary, no meat, and just having the pride and, yeah, no, I ain't no meat. 7 years, 10 years, and being able to say those things. But then I also remember being prideful and getting into conversations and small debates. And, I throw that around as like, if that means something. And it, it did, at least for a little while. I thought it did anyway, until I started to get slapped around by OGs, you know, you thinking yeah, I'm 7 years in, I'm 10 years in, you know, I'm, say for instance, I'm 35 years old with maybe 10 years in under my belt. I might meet somebody, a OG, and be like, well, I've been vegan for 40 years. You see what, like, I'm 35 years old at the time. I might meet somebody and say, "Yo, I've been doing that. I got my master herbalist certification or license 50 years." Like, so when I started to meet those types of people and study with those types of people, I'm not going to say I got more humility, but I will say I got more realistic about my ability to communicate with people, right? And so my ability to ask people for support, because I learned some people that's on a fast is on a fast because they need to be on that fast. But some people is on that fast, they doing the like Jay-Z said, when Jay-Z, when he comes around, it's charity because he's such an important, just him, his mere presence is charity. Well, there are people that are in shape, they have very disciplined, dietary, culinary, supplementary, that when they participate in the fast, they are there doing charity because they're there to support everybody else. Right. So some people are on the fast as students, some people are on the fast as teachers, and then most people are doing a little bit of both. When you talk to a new person, you teaching. When you talk to somebody with a little bit more, so what I wanted to do with the fast was create a system. I wasn't interested in that. Even though Ali came up with these wild, crazy ideas, um, that I wouldn't have went with regardless. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted something that could everybody could participate. So first things first, easy. I need this to be something simple. I don't want nobody to feel like it's too complicated or they gotta read or they gotta, like what if a person's illiterate? You know what I'm saying? Like, do they just commit to like walk in front of a truck? Like do we just write them off? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was ease. I wanted it to be very simple. But the conundrum, or at least the I think conundrum's a good adjective. Because the problem was creating a simple solution that could fit to a complex problem. The problem is that, so right now, me and you are engaged in a relationship right now. I'm talking, you listening. I'm on this side of the camera, you on that side of the camera. The thing is, from your side of the camera, it's going this way, it's only one person. From my side of the camera, it's going that way to hundreds, sometimes to thousands of people. And I don't know who those people are, what they look like, right? Over time, as I get to know them, I learned that some of these people are white, some of them are black. right? Some of these people are fat, some of them are skinny, some of them are tall, some of them are short, some of them are old, some of them are young, you know, some of them are male, female, sick, healthy, athletes, fat, couch potatoes. Like everybody's watching, right? So I got all of this in my mind as I'm trying to put this thing together. And so trying to find something just as challenging for the guy, buying 50-cent beers and loose Newports as for the person that got a membership at the spa. They do yoga 3 times a week. They fast 6 times a year. Like, I wanted that person and that person to have an equally difficult time being able to do the fast and enjoy it together, right? Be able to bond, and people do it at work and school, and so that was my thing. And so it was not about copycatting what anybody had going on. I think that's what made it really special, was that it was unique, our own thing, our own thing. It wasn't a food list. It was an outline. Like, it grew to an outline. Like, here, use romaine lettuce. Don't use iceberg, in your salads. Make sure you have red onions. Make sure you have this. Make sure you have that. Kind of like an earlier version of what we now have with the grocery shopping list. If you don't have the grocery shopping list, go get the book. Right? If you don't have these books, I don't even know what you're doing right now. Go get all these books. Your shopping cart need to be full. If you don't got none of these books, I don't even know what. Anyway, so kind of what grew like into the grocery shopping list was like, here, make sure your salad has this. But it's not limited to this. It's just make sure you include these items in there, because I wanted to give you a good color. Make sure you got a good variety of color and a good variety of fiber. And then after that, you could do whatever whatever tastes best. I just want to make sure we knock the nutrients out. You know what I'm saying? So it was that. But when it first started, like I said, it was relatively simple, and it kind of got, I was able to simplify and systemize what we were doing over time to give, what we have now was the 5 different 8-day fast. Basically, that's how it goes. 5 different 8-day fasts. And it's just a filter. It's just a filter. You're just going to toughen your fast, right? You're going to purify what you eat, and you're going to reduce the amount of calories that you eat 5 times. And you're going to hold that steady for 8 days each time. That's it. So it's really about just the power of refinement applied to what level you're on. So kind of almost like a Masonic thought, like come meeting on the square, like we all in the same pocket with it. You know what I'm saying? So everybody gets to meet on the square, kind of equal footing or equality, right? You could say supreme mathematics, look at it from that direction. But that's how you move into equality anyway. You start with the refinement. And so that's what that is. It's just a system of refinement. And the results was just so crazy. The results was just so crazy that I don't know if people understand, but I'm still studying. And if you're studying with me, you're still studying. That's why I realized we needed to have these conversations when I was in WAC 100's Clubhouse. Because after I put the videos up and people start hitting me up like, yo, that was crazy. They had the training, like, respect. You know what I'm saying? This is just what people saying, like, yo, it was crazy. So people's like, yo, why you stop talking about the 40-day fast and blah, 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 blah. And why you stop teaching people about it and this and that. And I was saying to myself, I was kind of like messed up. I had to really go back to the drawing board. That's one of the reasons I wasn't live for a few days, because I was like, damn, that's crazy how how communication works. You know what I'm saying? Because you think of something in your mind or your heart that you want to share with somebody or audience. And so you package it how you package it and you send it. And you hope that they receive it and interpret, you hope all it lines up, but it doesn't always line up. And my point in saying all that to say is I never stopped teaching the fast. All of these books, like, and so, again, my complacency, I'm saying, is my fault, right? Because, but Melanin versus Diabetes, book 1, where all of these books, we always reference all the way back to the root, book 1. Well, book 1 starts with, we did the fast for 10 years and going through the fast, going through the fast, I put together these studies from the results of going through all these fasts, and here's what I figured out so far. Bam. And then from that book, we're building on the next book, and here's what else we've learned from these studies, and da 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 da. So technically, all of these books are either direct extrapolations of the data from doing the fast, or building on top of foundational bricks that I got from that time period. Because that time period, I had the most just like people from everywhere, all off the street, everywhere. College campuses, strip clubs, medical schools, guys off the stoop selling crack, like all kind of people, you know what I'm saying? So it was a great experience to be able to really get, when you study in anything, if you don't really get a diverse panoramic view of that field, you're not going to really have the good grasp of the information. So even findings from going through stuff, you still continue to study and build on it. So all of this stems from Melanin versus Diabetes, book 1. If you don't have that book, then you don't know what I'm saying. But if you do have that book, then that's literally, we start out in book 1 in the 40-day fast. Because you need to be able to, if you're going to compare people, you need to kind of have people in a situation where you can kind of put them in similar, so you can get a good idea of what's going on. So yeah, so all of this stuff that we've been finding out, it's like, even finding out how melanin has been impacted by the 40-day fast. That was something crazy to learn, and we talk about that in the book. So there's a new book. Matter of fact, y'all need to go get y'all notebooks real quick, because we're getting ready to do some work. We're getting ready to do some worky. What is this? Not my video screen share. My name is Minister EnQi. I am the naturopathic doctor and the spokesman for the Melanin Verse Diabetes Ministry. Every time you go to the supermarket without the electrician grocery shopping list, it's like putting a loaded gun to your head. Stop playing Russian roulette with your life. Help us make America great again. Learn how to save time. Learn how to save money with the electrician grocery shopping list on Amazon now. Go to Amazon now. The life you save may be your own. I bet you didn't know that your favorite coffees, juices, beers, sodas, all that is made with tap water. I bet you didn't know that your favorite coffees, juices, beers, sodas, all that is made with tap water.
Hey.
Hi, are you Minister?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Hi,
ma'am.
nice to meet you in person. Because I came all the way from Columbus, Ohio,
To Philly?
to Philly. I'm
Oh, my
from Philly, but I live in Ohio, and I bought quite a few of your DVDs.
We just was out there doing some lectures. You ain't know about
and
it?
I did not know anything about.
Hold on, D-Lo. D-Lo.
I did not know anything.
So wait a
And
minute.
I had to come all the way from
D-Lo.
the Turnpike to know that you were in my hometown down the street from me.
This is a problem for Brother D-Lo Morgan.
And what do you know? I find you at Black and Nobel.
Yes.
Where I
Yeah,
always
Black and
stop.
Nobel.
This is my first stop every
Sundays.
time I get
1 p.m. The minister will be in the building.
here. Every time I come.
Books, herbs, DVDs, everything will be in the building. So
Now the DVD that I really like the most is the one about the cellular water. Now the DVD that I really like the most is the one about the cellular water, cellular water.
I bet you didn't know that your favorite coffees, juices, beers, sodas, all that is made with tap water.
yes, ma'am.
I love that. I love that.
Going in with the aborted kidney fetus cells and
Yes, and that brings me to another point because I was talking to somebody and I was learning about Pepsi.
yes.
And I remember that I was in love with Pepsi for years. And I wasn't in love with Pepsi until I moved to Ohio. And it's so addictive.
It is.
It's like crack, IV,
Right.
cold, just kind of, a case a day. I used to bother my ex-husband because he popped in a can. I said, now I only have 12 left. So when I did the
Wait,
research,
you only have 12
I
cans
only
left.
have 12 left till
Oh
the
my
morning.
God. Till the morning.
Literally. And I put on 80 pounds
Wow.
from just drinking the Pepsi, and all the Pepsi that I drank ruined my thyroid. It ruined my thyroid. So any of you who are on Pepsi, you may want to. It's
Right.
that caramel color.
And what's happening is, if you've been studying the books, you'll see what's going on. You got the white blood cells in the body, which are the cells in your body that responds to aborted kidney cells. So you have to have cannibal cells to respond to.
Yo. Hey, yo. Yo, how I sound just like right now, 2024, I sound just the same way I did 10, 15 years ago. Like, yeah, so if you study in the books and on the wall, not all of those books are my books, but on the wall, those are a lot of I have books behind me on that wall that I wrote. You know what I'm saying? Those are some of the books that, no longer in print. You know what I'm saying? But so it's just amazing that I'm still like, yo, did you get the books? You didn't get the books? Okay, man, I ain't talking to you. When you get the books, anyway.
and all the Pepsi that I drank ruined my thyroid. It ruined my thyroid. So any of you who are on Pepsi, you may want to. It's
Right.
that caramel color.
And what's happening is, if you've been studying the books, you'll see what's going on. You got the white blood cells in the body, which are the cells in your body that responds to aborted kidney cells. So you have to have cannibal cells to respond to, like humans in your food. So it's the cannibal cells in your body that get hooked on the kidney cells that they taken from aborted babies, putting into the Pepsi, right? Now, your thyroid, your thymus, your parathyroid, these are the glands in the body that not only control energy, but they also control your natural immunity, which is your electricity in the body. So now when you have an overrunning of white blood cells, that's the first thing that's going to go. So in order to fix that, we have to get you on some flex on the beach and get them sea vegetables in there with all that fresh iodine and get that stuff fixed right away.
So what's good for that? Seaweed or kelp?
All of that stuff. All that stuff. Seaweed, kelp, Irish moss, there's a couple of them. Bladderwrack. I have about 7 or 8 different ones in the flex on the beach. Even though flex on the beach is so loud. But
Oh, you were telling me that now.
yeah. We have it here.
I'm on medication and have been for 13 years. And they can't regulate my thyroid levels.
Yeah, it's
So I'm
just
trying
a
to
natural
do it
sea
healthy.
vegetable. Yeah. Natural sea vegetables. Of course, you got to get the right sunlight in, and you got to try to fight the little creepy crawlies inside.
Yeah, the craving for Pepsi.
But you look good though. You look like you lost all that weight.
I did. I actually lost 3 pounds because I do not eat meat anymore. I don't do dairy anymore. Yes. I remember when I talked about I was in dairy.
No meat, no dairy, no Pepsi. Squatting that.
Yes. I remember when I talked about I was in dairy.
No meat, no dairy, no Pepsi. Squatching that Minister EnQi. That's what it is right here.
You can do it if I can.
That's it. What you want to do? 63 pounds.
63
All right, the 6 and the 3, that's the 9, that's Osiris number. All right, we're going crazy. I bet you didn't know that your favorite coffees, juices, beers, sodas, all that is made with tap water.
Listen. This is what I'm saying. Like, so my complacency, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've had people come from all over the place to find wherever we was, because when we first started doing this, remember, there is no internet. So that might confuse people. Don't think that she like, oh, I traveled across states to come see you because you're Justin Bieber or you know, Michael Jackson. Like, she's not a fan in that capacity. She's not traveling because when she see me, she's going to faint and I'm going to sign her autograph. There's no internet like that. All this stuff is just growing, just happening. Like, we're first generation to this stuff. You know what I'm saying? But the internet doesn't have the grasp still. The platforms didn't fully like sell out yet. You know what I'm saying? We still had the circuit. The circuit was everything. That's how people had been since the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. You know, you went to the rallies. You went to the marches. You went to, so we kind of carried that. We carried that with us. So the marches, the rallies, you know, the soapboxes, those things turned into you know, the classes on alternative news. You know, Adam Weishaupt and, you know, the bourgeois, you know, all of those subversive, cultish, alternative thought types of groups and thought leaders right? They picked up where the rallies and all that kind of stuff left off. Somewhere along the lines, and I'm trying to keep this shit as real as possible. This is why you have to give props and respect to Sonetta, because you know he has his moments, man, and he's giving birth to just as much as foul, crazy stuff as good, beautiful stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, but you have to appreciate Sonetta, because and there's a space where if there's no Sonetta, I don't know if YouTube looks the same. You know what I'm saying? So even if, say, for instance, you don't like House of Consciousness, but you do like Dr. EnQi or Dr. Sabi or Dr. Africa or this one or that one, you may not know, because there may not have been a transition in the same capacity as it went down to give you the access the way it is. You know what I'm saying? All this was a process, you know what I'm saying, to going to the online. But you had to be at places. So this was regular. You know what I'm saying? I remember jumping on the Greyhound bus from New York to go to a show in DC or Texas or wherever, because you had to be somewhere to experience it. You could not experience it on no damn live stream. So the sister driving from Ohio to Philly to come see me like that was not a rare thing. You know, I greatly appreciate it, but but so the fast is super simple. The fast is super simple. And so when we did the gold book, right, and I put together the 120 day, the Blue Magic Heart Challenge with the 40-day, and the gold book is the gold standard. So I was so locked into making sure that, this is the gold standard. I didn't give anybody the simple, basic blueprint of the 40-day. Now, if you got the gold book and you know what the 40-day is in advance, you could take it backwards from the gold book, right? Excuse me. If you got the gold book, well, it's invisible. It's the Harry Potter book, but it's gold. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of reverse engineer it, but it's not, may not be that user friendly. So one of the things I did with the new book, right, is just in that book, the new book, it is the simplest version of the fast that ever existed. It's the simplest version of the fast that ever existed. Right? This is the one everybody can do. Even the people that think they can do it, it's the one they could do. It's the one everybody can do. It's the one. Right? But not just that, a lot of science. So that's the other part. The conversation is constantly being able to refine the information and do more research and learn and study and learn and study and learn and study and learn. And be able to study the findings, right? Meaning going through the research, say for instance in 2015, making a discovery in 2015, and then being able to continue to stay on top of it until 2020 and see if that discovery was solid. Like, okay, did this hold up? This is how herbal formulas change over time. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, okay, this works for now. I'll find a way to make it more efficient, effective, taste better, make it cheaper. Like, I'll find a way to improve it. one way or another. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when I do, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's been the ongoing process. But it's our, I ain't gonna say our most powerful tool, but in terms of our program, it's definitely been our most, well, it's been our longest running program, right? So it's the longevity, you know, like they say, like LeBron, he got the records because he's been playing so long. So the fast got the record because it's been our longest, you know, applicable, schedulable program that you can use to, you know, but I think that we really got something nice with the book though, because the book is not just about, we talk a lot about water. Talk a lot about water, and then we talk a lot about melanin, right? Melanin, and then something I'm very excited to discuss is hydrogen and melanin. So there's some new, that is some new work inside this book too. Don't think this book is just for play. Like, it's some work in here, right? Because in fact, this is the part where I was telling people all this time, you got to take your notebooks out, because we're going to continue this conversation, but we're going to review modern health spans. We're going to review modern health spans review on hydrogen gas real quick together, right? Me and you, right? We're going to take some notes, and then we're going to come back and we're going to discuss. We're going to pick up this 40-day fruit fast discussion, because I found out something that I did not know when I started this fast. Like, the same way when I put the push-ups together, it ain't have nothing to do with the Harvard thing. We was doing the push-ups before the Harvard study came out, right? But then a few years later, the Harvard study came out. That just put the super battery in my back. Like, yeah, that's confirmation. We made the discovery on our own, but then we got confirmation from Harvard that the push-ups was given superior cardiovascular protection, 96% reduction in risk for cardiovascular disease, right? From simply doing the push-ups. Same thing with the 40-day fast, right? 40-day fast, rocking, yada, yada, yada. It's not till 10 years later that I find out, wait a minute, we're increasing molecular hydrogen production during a 40-day fast. Now, this is a benefit that can't even be statistically quantified, because until just recently, nobody even knew that molecular hydrogen really had a role in biology. We was told always that hydrogen by itself will float out of Earth's atmosphere because it's so light. So hydrogen has to be bound to another element in order to stay inside the atmosphere, or it'll escape the atmosphere. Literally, that was science. Now it's, well, when you have two hydrogen atoms, you know, the H2 molecule is very stable, and so it will stay present in certain fluids of the body for longer times than others, and half-lives and all this other stuff starts to get different, and antioxidant potential and all kinds of crazy stuff. And I find out after we're doing the fast forever, right? This information about the hydrogen and all this stuff start coming out. And it's funny, this stuff started coming out right around the time when I start cussing out KT. What was I cussing out KT for? KT start telling niggas on what did he start telling people? Excuse my French. Oh, deuterium water. He started telling people about deuterium-free water and all this kind of goofball stuff. I'm like, bro, you're confused. Deuterium-free, cold climate. That's the polar bear. That's not for the gorillas, champ. That's good information, but it's applying to the wrong people. You got the wrong market for that, champ. That's the polar bears right there. That don't apply to the gorillas. Okay, the gorillas come from the equator. That's primarily deuterium-rich water and food and all of that kind of stuff. Right? So polar environment, deuterium poor. Equatorial environment, deuterium rich. So you coming with all these wrong studies and all this crazy stuff. So anyway, I was cussing KT out about that at that particular time. But that's when the deuterium studies had started to come out about deuterium-free water and all this other foolishness. Listen to what I say, foolishness. That's another thing. That's foolishness. That's not a thing. Okay? The same thing with the Cajun. When the Cajun came out, I had to debunk the Cajun. And then a whole bunch of people that love me, that was supposed to be my friend. Oh, EnQi, you so smart. Oh, I learned so much from you. When I told everybody the Cajun was bullshit, those very same people that said, EnQi, you so smart. I learned so much from you. They said, EnQi don't know what he talking about. This nigga is scamming. You know, this nigga tried to say that Cajun water was not real and da-da-da-da-da-da. And you know how much I paid for that Cajun? I done signed up to pay $4,700 for that Cajun machine. I had to put $1,200 down on that thing. Why would EnQi tell people not to get my Cajun water? Because you see how that go? Cajun came out and told people, say, hey, I promise you, I don't care what the benefits of that thing say. If you can't show me an example of that happening in nature, that's not what our body, that's not it. That's a Band-Aid. We good. That's, you know, yeah, get you some alkaline water. I'm going to go get me a few gallons. Yeah, I'm going to go. Yeah, but that's not it. That's not the end all be all. Like everybody stop everything, alkaline water. Like, no, that's not it. Then what happened? Everybody cussed me out for going against the grain. And then what start happening? People start getting sick. People start getting sick. And when people first start getting sick, I start looking at folks, just giving them the finger, like, giving them the head nod, like, because I already know what's happening. Everything in your body got to have specific pH. So you goofy niggas that don't read books, respectfully, you listen to Dr. Sebi. And Dr. Sebi told you don't read books because he wanted to keep you nice and stupid. Respectfully, OG. I'm just saying. So now he telling you don't read no books. You ain't reading no books. So you hear Dr. Sebi say, oh, well, you know, the acid and alkaline, the pH. You know, so in your mind, this is what I'm saying. I've been through so many levels with this healthy shit. Like, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like just smoking 100 cigarettes at one time. Like, I need to just have such a break, such an exhale from healthiness, because healthiness is toxic for me. You know what I'm saying? Because people are insane. I've had guns pulled on me, my house burglarized, vandalized, stalkerized, like just everything you can imagine behind trying to tell people, hey, drink a little less soda, drink a little more water. Like, just trying to get niggas healthy. It's crazy out here. Right? But yeah, see, I can't be telling all these stories, man. This is y'all just want the information, right? So let's just, let me stop myself, because y'all not gonna stop me. Y'all love the drama. Y'all gonna let me keep going and say some stuff that y'all know I shouldn't be saying, and then the next few days y'all gonna be mad, like, EnQi, why you beefing with everybody? I'll be beefing with everybody because y'all don't stop me from saying the things that make people want to beef with me. Y'all enjoy when I be going off on a tangent, and then when I be battling with these guys for the next couple of weeks or months, y'all be mad with me like, yo, EnQi, man, you got to get back to the info, God. So I'm going to try to stop myself and get back to the info. You know what I'm saying? But there was some very pleasant and powerful benefits that were uncovered, and we're going to look at some of those now. And I've been able to write up the science on a lot of that in the new book now, in hindsight, that I didn't know back then. So back then, you know, we knew a lot. We was getting amazing results, but we didn't have any idea that there was some, you know, I didn't know anything. I didn't have the EnQi cycle yet. I had some rough ideas about the EnQi cycle. So I got some stuff percolating. You know, I know structured water, plasma. You know, I got some stuff percolating in my mind, but I don't have it to where I have it like right now at this moment. You see what I'm saying? So now I could look back and go, oh, wow, we were getting results. We were getting results from the 40-day fast that we were attributing to things like I didn't even know how good this fast was, that we, you know, like a simple fast. It's just, you know, do this for 8 days. At the end of the 8 days, take it up a little notch, do this, you know what I'm saying? Like, but now looking back, I could see how many different ways we were able to impact. It's not just a matter of what we thought anyway. What I thought was, you know, pull out some of the bad stuff and add in more good stuff for, you know, a little bit of time. Like, that's what I thought. And basically just strip it down until you get to where you're basically fasting the body, not eating anything at all. Think of that like a no calorie zero, no food, no water, nothing. Straight fast. That's a real fast. That's what Dr. Africa cussed me out a few times about. But now, because old school, that's old school. No water, no food, that's a fast. Dr. Africa. Dr. EnQi come in and go, hold up, old school. We know that we need nutrition at different speeds. So fat soluble vitamins, oh, we could go on a quick little 1 day, 3 day fast, and we won't need no fat soluble vitamins. Like if we taking a lot every day, oh, you can miss a few days. Them fat soluble vitamins, them levels gonna stay the same because you got them stored up in the fat of your body. But the water soluble vitamins, shit, sometimes you lose those in a few hours. You could have thousands of micro units of vitamin B's, right? And then you could, you know, you could go through an exhilarating moment. You could go through a happy moment, a scared moment, a stressful moment, and just your body go right through, you know, all those, you know, like water soluble vitamins. There's no real way to figure out, like, sometimes you like, it's no way to. So a lot of the nutrients that we need every day, you know, once you go a day without them, you hurting yourself. So my idea was to create like a funnel or a set of filters where you could go from wherever you're at to something that I thought in my mind Sabi and Elijah would agree with. Like something right in between one meal a day and the full vegan, you know, non-hybrid, natural, blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of what you got, where you go through. And if you make it all the way to the last one, you know, you kind of just have a 1 meal a day. And you're just getting in the bare minimum calories of what you need for the day. The antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, you know, aminos, this, that, and other, blah, 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 blah. So you can get all of the benefits of the fast autophagy and, you know, lymph movement, drainage, and, you know, all of those things. But then also, you don't have to worry about whether you're getting an extra boost of growth hormone or testosterone because you might lose some muscle and myostatin and all kind of crazy stuff that shouldn't cloud your mind when you're just trying to cleanse. Right? That's too much science when you're just trying to cleanse. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so there's a lot of stuff that I learned since we started it that we've been doing, getting amazing benefits from, losing weight, health-wise, just all kind of stuff. Parents, children, autistic, grades, just all kinds of stuff. And I'm still to this very day learning how that's going on. And so there's a lot of good new, and we're going to talk about some of that. Matter of fact, let's get to some of this. So yeah, this is the part where you might as well take out your notebook, because I want you to take some notes, ask some questions. If you ain't taking notes and asking questions on this part, then I know you just here for the drama.
Hello, everyone. This is Richard from Modern Healthspan. Recently, hydrogen water has received some attention as having special health benefits. I was skeptical when I first heard of hydrogen water, I will admit. So let's use this review paper, Hydrogen Water, Extra Healthy or a Hoax, published in January this year, to look at the data and you can decide what you think. Hydrogen-rich water has been shown to have benefits in health and wellness. The main mechanism appears to be as an antioxidant, and it also has anti-inflammatory and anti-apoptotic effects. The review includes 25 studies based on human trials. The trials covered exercise capacity, physical endurance, liver function, cardiovascular function, mental health, COVID-19, oxidative stress, and anti-aging. The results are encouraging, but more studies are needed. We will look at some of these in more detail in this video. There is some explanation of the proposed mechanism, but more research in this area is also needed. First off, what is hydrogen water? It is water which has molecular hydrogen dissolved in it. This can be done by putting hydrogen under pressure into the water, but there are other ways, and we will look at these in a moment. Hydrogen forms a stable molecule, H2, which is very small and can dissolve into water. It does not dissociate into hydrogen atoms or ions, but remains as H2 molecules and will remain dissolved in the water for a while. As well as the pressure mechanism mentioned above, it can also be produced from tablets and infusion machines. We will look at these mechanisms in a minute. Once created, hydrogen water can be consumed orally, and hydrogen is easily absorbed because it is small and non-polar. It will in fact go through cell walls and even into the mitochondria. It is also effective at small concentrations. Before we get into how to create hydrogen water, a note on concentrations and dosing. The concentration in the studies are either given as parts per million or even parts per billion or millimoles. Assuming that ppm is based on mass, ppm is the same as milligrams per liter, as there are 1 million milligrams of water in 1 liter. A mole of molecular hydrogen weighs about 2 grams, so 1 millimole is about 2 parts per million. So to get from parts per million to millimoles, divide by 2. Let's have a look at ways to get hydrogen water as a consumer. Note that the image of the commercial products on this site are just examples that I found. I have no affiliation with them and have not tried them. First is a hydrogen infuser. This is a device which requires electricity. You add water, turn it on, and it generates the hydrogen water. At the level of basic chemistry, it uses electrolysis to split water into its component parts of hydrogen and oxygen. The gases produced at the electrodes will join to form molecules, which may then dissolve into the water. Presumably, the device removes the gaseous oxygen in some way and lets the hydrogen bubble up through the water and dissolve. There are also complications with ensuring that the pH does not change, so the diagram on the right is somewhat simplified. I see this kind of device claimed to be able to produce hydrogen water of between 1 and 3 parts per million. There are tablets which can be placed in water and will effervesce and produce molecular hydrogen which dissolves into the water. These
Keep in mind all these benefits laid out, right? This is, well, you see, he said 25 clinical studies, 25, not 25 participants in a study, 25 studies across the board. So, mind you, right out the gate, my beef with the Keynesian water, health, blah, 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 blah was life didn't depend on you plugging in the machine to make the water for life to come out of. Remember, life comes out of water. So when you're talking about the best water to have, you're talking about the most natural, the closest water to the water that life came out of. Not, quantified ingredients on a plastic bottle in the supermarket. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what you need to have in your mind is as a compass for you to, set the closest to what life came out of. Right? So immediately just know when they come with this information, and at the same time, I'm debunking the deuterium foolishness, they're coming out with this, I'm already looking at this skeptical as well. Because I'm looking at it like, oh, here goes another machine. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to come with more information than machine because, by some research, modern humans, modern man has been here for tens of thousands of years. Some research says hundreds of thousands. Some folks say millions, billions, et cetera, et cetera. It gets crazy, but we know one thing for sure, two things for certain. We just made these little water machines and just got them to start working. So life couldn't be dependent on these. Right. So just keep in mind that I didn't have a double standard. Right.
These tablets are basically made of magnesium, which reacts with the water to create magnesium hydroxide and hydrogen. The hydrogen will bubble up through the water and some will be dissolved. I've seen tablets claim up to 8 to 12 parts per million. It is also possible to buy hydrogen-enriched water by the bottle, in which hydrogen has been already dissolved. I've seen bottled water claim to have 1 to 1.5 parts per million. So let's look at some of the studies and see what they found. First, looking at physical exercise. There have been 7 studies or so looking at hydrogen water on physical exercise performance and fatigue. Here is one of them, which was a study with trained and untrained cyclists. The trial looked at the impact of 1 week's hydrogen water on aerobic and anaerobic exercise capability. There were 37 participants. It was a double-blinded crossover study, so each participant had 1 week with the placebo and 1 week with hydrogen water. The hydrogen water was produced using an infuser and had a concentration of 1.9 parts per million. The pH was 7.5, so this is alkaline, as a pH of 7.0 is neutral. 2 tests were performed, a VO2 max and a maximal anaerobic test. There was no change in the VO2 max, but in the anaerobic, the trained riders saw an improvement in peak power from 766 to 826, and an average power of 350 to 380, which is a 12 and 11% increase respectively. The effect size shown by the D value is medium, but they seem very large in terms of performance improvements. There was also smaller improvements in the fatigue index. From this and other papers, the suggested mechanism.
All right. So when you hearing that, right? Because I know there might be people listening that they, right, but I know there's gonna probably be a few people also like, I don't know what that exactly means. Okay, so what that translates to, right? When he says, we got, here's a study that they did on, cyclists. And so, we gave the cyclists 1 week of the water with the enhanced hydrogen, whatever, and they have more muscle efficiency or more endurance or more power output. In order to get more endurance or more power, what you have to now have, remember what we talk about, remember, don't lose confidence. Sometimes y'all lose confidence, right? Even though y'all love me, I love y'all, I'm still the guy with the gold teeth. Sometimes when you see the white guy with the white jacket, it overwhelms your mind. You melt down, forget everything that you've been studying, and all of a sudden you like, keep your wits about you, right? When we did the Osiris Diabetes Respiration book, the Mitochondria Water book, like all of those, we've been talking about keeping your metabolism coupled to your respiratory system, right? And how the uncoupling of the metabolism from the respiratory system is where all the problems is coming from, right? What you talking about, Doc? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so metabolism is where you break down fats and carbohydrates for energy. As you break down fats and carbohydrates, the waste product of fat, the waste product of carbohydrates is carbon. So when you break down a 6-carbon glucose chain, for example, you're going to have 2 single carbon atoms float off. Each one of those is going to need 2 oxygen atoms to turn those carbon atoms into CO2 so your body can get rid of them. If you're breaking down fat or sugar, right, because you eat more than you really exercising, like most people, right, you're producing carbon faster than you're bringing in oxygen to get rid of it. So you're going to have to store stuff. You're going to have poor endurance because your muscles, the lactic acid is going to build up so fast, and just so many different small problems that you don't realize because our society accepts these things as normal. But when you hear that there's more power to the muscles or more efficiency, know that that means respiration and metabolism is getting more and more and more synchronized back together again. And the more synchronized your breathing is with your metabolism, because remember, respiration, we say respiration, we think lungs, breathing. But respiration also means your mitochondria, right? That's where your respiratory proteins are. And mitochondria is the target of your food. So metabolism and respiration meet up. They meet up, right? One way or another. So how well they work together becomes your metabolic health, right? And so hypercapnia, hypoxia, those is things that sneak up in the tool bag of metabolic disease. But so anyway, so when we listen to the boom bam boom bam bam boom bam 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 boom bam bam boom bam bam, because that's I can hear You know, my man, he got a little Charlie Brown in him. You know, womp, 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 but that's what that means, right? So when he says they had the molecular hydrogen, and the molecular hydrogen increased their power and their endurance on a biochemical level, how that's happening, because a week is not time enough to change your muscle fibers, and that's not that in a week. That's oxygen, gas metabolism. Okay.
Mechanism could be antioxidant capability and the reduction in acidosis caused by lactic acid buildup because the water was alkaline. Authors of this study stated no conflict in interest. Another study was this one, looking at antioxidant markers and the gut microbiome in teenage female football players in China. The study lasted longer, 2 months. There were 38 participants, 10 in the control and 28 in the treatment groups. I cannot find any detail on the concentration of hydrogen in the water or how it was added. Also, the quantity drunk seemed to be up to the participants based on whatever they would normally drink. The hydrogen water group saw a decrease in oxidative stress, as shown by a decrease in malondialdehyde, a marker of fat peroxidation, and an increase in oxidative capacity, shown by the superoxide dismutase levels, among others. Inflammation also decreased with lower interleukin-1 and 6 and TNF-alpha. It also improved the diversity of the gut microbiome. There was one paper that saw no improvement. This was with the gut and 6 and TNF. Others. Inflammation also decreased with lower interleukin-1 and 6 and TNF-alpha. Also decreased superoxide dismutase levels, among others. Inflammation also decreased with lower interleukin-1 and 6 and TNF-alpha.
So in the study, IL-1, IL-6, and TNF dropped down. So remember, when we went through the language of cells, the language of melanocytes, right? The GOAT book, EnQi is the soul of Osiris, on what is that, page 38 or 40, whatever that page is, 38, 39, is in the fiscal book, Melanin versus Diabetes, book 3. It's on page 38, 39, something like that, right? When we talk about how the cells communicate with cytokines and how melanocytes are kind of at the center of that. And we talk about how IL-1, IL-6, and tumor necrosis factor, or TNF, how those are like the three ruffians, right? Those are the three ruffians. Those are the challenge, you know, when those three cytokines pop up together. Now, cytokines are situational. A cytokine here may have this effect, but a cytokine in a different area in your body may have a totally different effect. So that's where kind of they reclassify cytokines into more specific groups. So depending on where they're coming from, right? Because you got cytokines is the big group, and then under that is chemokines, myokines, you know, based on where they come from or whatever they do, right? And so a cytokine in one area of the body might create inflammation. In another area of the body, it might start a positive, you know, it might have a, so the more you learn about this stuff, though, the more you can figure out how to control some of this stuff. Because if we're now looking at clinical studies that are showing, okay, well, molecular hydrogen is able to reduce IL-1, 6, and TNF. Being able to reduce those three things, sometimes you get this information way too easy. That's why when you go to college, university, medical school for this shit, They make you appreciate the information because they make you pay $2, $3, $4, $500,000 to learn it. You sit on YouTube. Some of you niggas ain't even sending in a Cash App, right? Some of y'all know there's new books out. You ain't got the new books. You might not be on Patreon. Some of y'all might not even be subscribed to the damn channel. Like, different levels of appreciation for the information. You're in medical school, they're not going to play with you. You got a certain grade level to cut. If you don't cut the grade level, we're getting rid of you. You got to pay this money to sit in here. If you don't pay this money, we're getting rid of you. You know what I'm saying? But don't underestimate what you're getting here. You know what I'm saying? Like, serious value, right? So if you understand molecular hydrogen in clinical setting has been able to reduce IL-1, IL-6, TNF, right? The thing you need to know about those three things is those three things are the three ruffians in every scenario. So if you're talking about people with high blood pressure, they have to monitor IL-1, 6. Like if you're talking about people with diabetes, type 1 or type 2, or with cancer, or with whatever, IL-1, IL-6, TNF. You know what I'm saying? Like, so learning how to upregulate, downregulate, modulate, like learning that they exist. Step one, learning how to assist them or assist your body in properly using and then getting rid of is step two, right? So that's a big thing to really start to grasp, because that can affect anybody dealing with any condition. Doesn't matter. IL-1, IL-6, TNF. That's literally like the biochemistry of inflammation. If you was to be able to simplify inflammation as a whole into three signals, into three biochemical signals, the signals would be IL-1, IL-6, TNF. There's other signals, but those are the main three right there. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes it gets a little more complicated because you got alpha and beta, right? So you got like IL-1 alpha, IL-1 beta. This one might be good. This one might. So it get a little bit more crazy the more you, but just on the basics, you got. So that's a powerful study right there. That's a powerful conclusion. That's a powerful piece of information to have in your toolkit, right? So in the new book, we talk about this in the 40-day fast because, and I know most of y'all will get the book, right? Most of y'all will get the book, but you're going to read in the book how, because basically we stumbled onto it. We didn't set up the fast knowing that there was going to be some molecular hydrogen benefits. Like that wasn't, definitely hydrogen, definitely water, but like molecular H2, like that wasn't, I'm not thinking, okay. I'm not thinking that there's going to be this whole other relationship of melanin, water, and your microbiome. Right? So there's a whole nother relationship we came upon, and we go into the science in the book. So you definitely want to get the book, but this whole nother like relationship. So there are particular types. So like how we looking at this guy here, and he's breaking down the study, and they showing you, okay, you know, you got the magnesium supplements, and then you got the machines, right? And the machines basically electrolysis machine. So soon as you see the electrolysis in your mind, you know, you should have the EnQi vision by now. So immediately you should be like, oh, well, our bodies are electric. Is the electricity running through our body? If our body's made of water and there's electricity in there, is that going on somewhere in our body right there? Like, is the electric, is that, because that looks like a little simplification of what's going on overall in our body. But that's putting that aside, right? You have the magnesium tablets. And so the crazy thing is, that's why I was saying earlier, it's beautiful to be able to make assertions or have findings in maybe 2010 and then continue to work and study and do your thing until maybe 5 or 10 years later and be able to look back and see how solid were your findings, you know, how all wise, right, and exact, you know. And so here's what I find out in hindsight, right? So, and here's where they connect, right? Here's where the molecular hydrogen conversation connects with the Kangen machine. Shit crazy. I want to say back in the days, like all other black kids in the city, I was infatuated with the Chinese, the karate, the kung fu flick joints, right? Fast forward, my dad had a lot of business relationships with Chinese guys down in Chinatown. And, you know, he would plug me in with different people to study with, you know, from his relationships. And, you know, so I learned some Chinese stuff. And basically, long story short, I learned that the Oriental community is light years ahead of Europe and America when it comes to health stuff. So I learned years and years before Kangen we ever heard of Kangen that a lot of times we're getting the garbage. We're getting the trash. We're getting something that another community is already done with, right? So anyway, fast forward. The Kangen thing hits, and it's so long ago, I can't think of the guy's name. But when I get passionate about something, I like to dive all the way in. So when I got hip to the Kangen, I dived all the way in. I immediately wanted to learn as much as I could learn. And with Kangen, you would get invited to a business meeting. It messed me up. I couldn't understand what was going on. I'm trying to find out information about the Kangen machine. They sending me to a business meeting. Come to find out, Kangen was a multi-level marketing company. I kid you not. This shit's crazy. And it was based on this one scientist's studies on how, you know, natural water has a higher pH, you know, somewhere between 7.5 and 8.5. And so technically we need to get our drinking water closer to that. Here's some studies and blah, blah, blah. And so this one scientist study is what basically the Kangen company and the whole industry that popped up around Kangen, because you had all the copycat machines too. So it was a whole industry popped up at the time, alkaline water. Then you had stores pop up, little water stores to sell alkaline water because they done bought these $5,000 machines and shit. And people want the water, but they can't afford the machine. So now you got stores. So anyway, a whole little industry pops up around Kangen. And, you know, most people's mind don't work like mine. I got to know the whole, you know, like I got to get to the whole. So, you know, I'm asking questions in the little business meetings and they keep telling me about this science and quoting this guy quotes. And so I'm like, well, where is that? I need, where can, you know, and they passing out pamphlets and the pamphlets got quotes. I'm like, yo, where is these quotes? where are these quotes coming from? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I finally find out the guy's name and research all this stuff, whatever. And so I go through all the stuff and I'm like, nah, y'all, I'm telling y'all this ain't this and this isn't that. So anyway, eventually people start getting sick from over, too much alkaline water because your stomach needs to be acid. If you're having too much alkaline water, you can water down the acid in your stomach and you're going to get incomplete digestion. So you're going to be a health conscious person because you're drinking alkaline water. So obviously you're health conscious and you're buying alkaline water. So that means you don't mind spending money. So a health conscious person that don't mind spending money, you know what that person's doing? That person's buying all of the dumb shit that they can. They're buying $5 and $6 juices, $4 waters, all kinds of shit. And guess what? Because they drinking so much alkaline water, they're not even getting half of the nutrients out of that expensive food. They're wasting it because their stomach ain't breaking the stuff down the way it's supposed to be. And when that happens, you're going to start getting an imbalance of fluids. And that can mess with your pancreas because your pancreas' number one job is not insulin. Most people that don't know no better, they think, oh, pancreas, insulin, pancreas, but that's not it. Only 3% probably for most people of your pancreas is beta cells. Like 97% of your pancreas is alpha cells. Those cells is there to produce alkaline digestive juices to break down, to finish breaking down the food, right? But you're disturbing the assembly line when you, like, so for instance, the way the assembly line goes is right here, right? You got your salivary glands and you breaking stuff down, carbohydrates specifically. Everything else you kind of break down with your teeth, but carbohydrates, enzymes, it starts in your salivary glands. So those you got a good, but proteins, amino acids, things like that, stomach, right? Once you get to the stomach now, it's acid. Before it could go to the blood or to the lower intestine and all that kind of stuff, all that acid from the stomach has to be reconditioned. So that's the next stop. Once you go through the stomach to the duodenum, so a large job of the pancreas is to make sure whatever you're about to pass through your bodies, the pH is to a space where it's tolerable for your body. You know what I'm saying? So that alkaline water became problematic because a lot of us, and I'm gonna say us because I was caught for a minute. We got religious with it. Like, I ain't drinking nothing but alkaline water. I'd rather not drink nothing. Like, people was passing out. Like, you had niggas passing. It's a heat wave. It's 110 degrees outside. People talking about, I ain't drinking nothing until I can get me So if I don't have no alkaline water, basically I ain't drinking nothing. So I'm gonna pass out. Like, not me, but I'm just saying that's how it was. It was crazy like that for a minute. It was wild. And people didn't know what they was doing. They didn't understand. That's why you got to understand the body, right? So all that whole long story to say, right? That original scientist whose studies the Keynesian industry was built around, as he continued to study, he found out that it wasn't the pH of the water that was doing the health benefits. He found out it wasn't the pH of the water that was giving the health benefits. So guess what he did? He retracted his original studies. Listen, he retracted his original studies that the Keynesian whole shit was built on, But the Cajun people, they ignored his new studies and just kept pushing the Cajun, you know what I'm saying? And what his new studies was that the well, it's more technical stuff to it, but simplified was that the beneficial results that they were documenting that they thought was coming from the superficial pH, because mind you, the pH in Cajun water is coming from tap. You hooking the Cajun machine up to your tap. So it's a superficial alkalinity produced by a combination of, you know, electrolysis and this solution that you add into the water, right? So you're breaking it down into, you know, an acid side or a proton donating side and an electron donating side. And so you got the negative ions, positive ions, right? You want to consume more negative ions, get rid of the positive. So whatever. What he was saying was the same thing I was saying. Now, here's how, if you, again, you don't see with your eyes or hear with your ears, you see and you hear with your mind. I'm saying this whole time, I'm saying, yo, that Cajun shit is wrong, right? Because I've been telling you pH is not, pH doesn't, tap water is alkaline. I've been telling people that since the beginning of time. I'm like, yo, everybody's tap water is alkaline. Even people that's like, you saw people lighting they faucet water on fire. I'm like, yo, you know that nigga's tap water is alkaline, right? For you alkaline crazy people, I'm like, yo, you know that's alkaline, right? That's still toxic, but it's also alkaline, like bleach, you know, like ammonia, like, you know, there's lots of things that are alkaline that are very toxic. Like that's not natural water that's good for us is also alkaline because it is high in bicarbonates and minerals. And those bicarbonates and minerals in the right combinations give it a higher, you know, it gives it an alkaline value, but it's not superficial. It's those solid, you know, those minerals and bicarbonates that's given that. It's not like some trick or some machine we ran it through because once you put that water in your body and it doesn't have those bicarbonates and it doesn't have those minerals, it's not going to behave the same way. It's not going to behave the same way because that's the thing with water, is how water behaves when it gets in your body. So, the two main minerals is magnesium and calcium. The two main minerals, magnesium and calcium, right? Primarily magnesium, you know what I'm saying? And so this is what I'm yelling the whole time. Even when we were starting up our water thing, we had a natural spring that was high magnesium, high calcium levels. Safe, but high, you know what I'm saying? Like really good for you, you know what I'm saying? So I'm yelling like, no, forget about fake, you know, magic machines that boost alkalinity. You need to get it the right way. You know what I'm saying? Water goes through the water cycle, runs through the rocks, the mountains, picks up the minerals. You know what I'm saying? Then the plants, the fungus at the root, you know, on the roots of the plants, takes those minerals from their rock formation, pulls it up through the roots, and then turns it into, you know, like I'm like, this whole process, we circumventing the process. This ain't how you got to trust it. Like Joel Embiid said, you got to trust the process. Like, so anyway, I'm saying the magnesium, the calcium, the magnesium, the magnesium, the magnesium, right? Because remember, the naturally alkaline waters like your springs and your artesians, they're going to have that magnesium. The magnesium's the star of the show, right? How did you, before we even had a word for magnesium, that's an English word, right? Before we had a word of that, how did we know to get that in? We just knew the greens was good for us, right? Greens means magnesium. This case you didn't know. Now, can you verify that? Can you go online and look up, hey, Dr. EnQi said greens means magnesium? No, you cannot, because Dr. EnQi kind of just made that up, but it's actually factual, even though I made that up. I know you're like, wait, how is that possible? Because the reason why plants are green is because of the magnesium content. So any green plants you have is going to be rich in magnesium. So now we're consuming a diet high in green plants. We're going to be consuming a diet high in magnesium. If we're consuming a diet high in magnesium, and magnesium is the catalyst your body needs to produce molecular hydrogen. Well, if we go on a Green Man challenge, we're going on a molecular hydrogen challenge, right? But which one sounds more fun? Say, everybody, let's do a Green Man challenge. Chances are I'm gonna be able to get people to participate in the Green Man challenge before I can get people to participate in a molecular hydrogen challenge, because they're gonna be like, what are you talking about, bro? I don't even know what molecular hydrogen is. Like, Green Man challenge. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have some green smoothies and juices. Yeah, easy. Molecular hydrogen consumption, saying the same exact thing. How you communicate, how you package, right? So the 40-day fast has all these benefits from this. We don't even know this, because I'm not even putting two and two together at the time. This is data. This is why you got to send the Cash App. This is why you got to support the ongoing research, because I got to put this information together over time. We're doing this fast year after year after year after year. We don't even have this on our map to study, to figure, like, this don't come out till years later, but now, so the increase in the magnesium, and then also there's an increase in fiber. So if there's an increase in fiber, there's an increase in what? Hydrogen retention, right? So when we go on a 40-day fast, we're increasing the fiber because we're switching over to more natural food, right? So the fiber goes up. The more the fiber goes up, the more raw material we have in terms of water, because it's fiber that pulls the hydration into the body. It's also the chlorophyll, the magnesium, the minerals attached to the chlorophyll that's going to stimulate that hydrogen, that molecular hydrogen production. So all of these things is going on in the background with the 40-day fast. Now, mind you, we throwing picnics, right? We're in the middle of the hood. We throwing picnics. And when I say in the middle of the hood, we going in hoods with this. We going in hoods, like hoods. Like, we going in, it's different colors. It's showing up like we going in hoods with this, right? I be reading people comments. They like, yo, EnQi, why you going over where it's low vibration? You talking to people on Clubhouse, and you talking to Whack, and you talking to Zip. It's low vibration. I thought we were supposed to be our brother's keeper. I thought we were supposed to be saving our people. Who we saving if we're not talking? That's literally what we supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be raising our vibration so we can find those of us with lower vibration and help them to raise it. That's what we got to do. And we're supposed to make ourselves smarter and stronger so that we'll be able to have the strength and endurance to love our brothers and sisters that need a little more tough loving. Yeah. Some of these niggas need a little more tough loving. They need a little more tough loving. Right? But so we're producing more molecular hydrogen, higher fiber content, higher hydration. And so if you think of what we did with the last few books, right? And I know some of y'all might have got confused because we came in with the generational health family book series in the middle of doing another different book series. So it's like we was kitchen chemistry, orthorexia, autodidact, and then stop. Then we went generational health and did 4 or 5 books over there. Then we started another series, right? Supply and demand series. And then we came back over here and now we're dropping the 40-day. Right. But that's where you see the beef between, that's us in here in the house. That's my household. That's my household beef y'all get to see on the internet, how the books come out. Yeah. So if you see 40-Day Fast book come out, orthorexia book come out, that's me thinking of these things. If you see all of a sudden we in the middle of a book series and then out of nowhere, like 4, 5, 6 family books come out, at that moment, the children took over. Dad, this is what we think the people need, Dad. This is what the people need. Dad, this is what the people need. So, it's my co-author. So sometimes I gotta acquiesce to the demands of the, you know what I mean? But this is an important thing, and this is a future, right? So everything that we've been doing, like literally, mainstream science is vindicating us. Even though our peers, our contemporaries, I don't know what they might have their heads in the sand because of their, disdain for me. They got to take that up with God. But that's what God, that's in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Like, the one that you hating, that's the one that I'm going to make you have to follow. Yeah. So you got to take that up with him. Figure that thing out. You know what I'm saying? Don't be mad with me. Don't blame me. Right? But because we get used to these things, right? Like I started off from the jump. We've been here talking for 2.5 hours. I started off from the jump. My complacency, I'm blaming me, right? I'm blaming me. But so now we have the simplified version. Still need the gold book though, but now you can get the simplified version. And in this book, we talk a lot about all of that science. So like the science is thick. It's thick. It's thick. We spend a good amount of time talking about the microbiome and molecular hydrogen. And then also molecular hydrogen and melanin, right? Because that's the other piece. Molecular hydrogen somehow upregulates melanocyte activity. Now, how could I know molecular hydrogen? How could I know the 40-day fruit fast is going to create an environment for, if we're not even aware of molecular, we don't even know what that is. So that's divine inspiration, really, with the whole layout of the fast, divine inspiration. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely something you need. You know, we're going to be definitely teaching out of it, you know, talking about some more things because, like I said, kitchen chemistry, orthorexia, autodidact book, we were getting into the skintology. We were getting into how the melanin versus diabetes movement, the intellectual property is being repackaged as inflammaging and ferroptosis and that whole little new sector that's developing to try to steal all the spiel. They're trying to steal all the spiel. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so now this is another. So there's the science of it, then there's the application of it, and it's a reflection of what I always say is as long as we get back to the original principles, all the other stuff will work itself out. Right. So before we knew with the molecular hydrogen and all that, what we were still getting these benefits from following the fast the way it's laid out, because we're gradually adding more nutrition in, more greens, more fiber, more pigment. As we do that, we're getting all of the benefits because everything is happening. We're getting the movement, we're getting the lymph drainage, we're getting the lymph movement. And so just all of these little nuanced little pieces.
It also improved the diversity of the gut microbiome. There was one paper that saw no improvement. This was with trained runners in a 4.2-kilometer uphill race, which may be testing the aerobic capacity. So this could agree with the first study, which saw an improvement in anaerobic but not aerobic results. There was also a study which showed that pre-workout hydrogen could reduce fatigue and help endurance, potentially through mitigating lactic acid buildup. Turning to cardiovascular disease risk, hydrogen water has been shown to reduce blood lipids. In the first study, there were 20 participants, male and female, with an average age of 55, of whom 10 were smokers and 10 were non-smokers. The study lasted 10 weeks, with hydrogen water was produced from magnesium tablets. The hydrogen was 0.2.
Now look at this. You got to ask yourself too. You got to think back. When they're doing studies now, see, because you got to take the new studies added to the old studies. When they do studies and they go, like for instance, we got another, we got our 10,000 a day, 10K a day, 10K of a day. There we go. 10K of a day challenge, right? If we're going about getting our vitamin, like, so we could cheat. We could just go on Amazon, even though it's not, we only going to cheat ourselves because it's not going to have the same effect on the body. But we go to Amazon and get a 10,000 IU's supplement and just pop whatever that is and, boom. But here's the difference. And this is what I've been trying to explain from the jump. With sunlight, with everything else that's in nature, it's a Kool-Aid. It's not a one thing. Like people look at sunlight and go, oh yeah, I'm getting sunlight. So yeah, like nah. Sunlight is a whole bunch of different types of light that you're getting. And depending on what time of the day it is, determine which one you're getting more of. But when you're getting sunlight on your body, you're getting UVA, B, red, green, this one, that one, infrared. Like you're getting all these types of, and so when you're measuring the benefits of that sunlight, you're measuring the benefits of not just all those individual types of light, but all of them together at the same time. right? Where they say the sum total of the parts is more than the whole, or whatever the case, however that go, right? That's how it works the same way, right? So if you're getting your vitamin A by eating greens, right? Follow me. If you're getting your vitamin A by actually eating the greens, or actually going and get the sweet potatoes, you know what I'm saying? Even though it might take you an hour to make your sweet potatoes or whatever. To get 10,000 IUs of vitamin A from greens, you're going to have to eat this much greens. And when you do that, you're also going to get X amount of what? Magnesium, calcium, potassium, because all those things are attached. So even if I only focus my mind and say, well, I got to get 10K a day of vitamin A this way. Okay, boom, my mind focused on that. But just by me doing it the natural way, there's going to be 1,000 other benefits that I may not even be aware of until maybe 10 years or 20 years later. Similar to like what I'm talking about now with the molecular hydrogen. We created a paradigm where you get all these benefits, but we didn't even know they existed, but we were getting them. So some of our results where we thinking, oh yeah, well, this and this, it's happening from things that we don't even know is happening. You see what I'm saying? So the isolated synthetic, it doesn't have all of those things that accompany. So vitamin A, even if all other things are the same, if synthetic vitamin A was exactly the same as real vitamin A, it still wouldn't have the same effect in your body, because when you get it from the greens or the actual vegetables and fruits, it comes with a plethora of other nutrients, and all of them is going to work at the same time doing a whole bunch of different, that's going to be way different than you taking that one thing isolated by itself, right? So just, all of these little nuanced effects, man. All these little nuanced effects.
It's your favorite coffees, juices, beers, sodas, all that is made with tap water.
Hi, are you Minister?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Hi,
ma'am.
nice to meet you in person. Because I came all the way from Columbus, Ohio.
To Philly?
To Philly. I'm
Oh,
from
my goodness.
Philly, but I live in Ohio, and I bought quite a few of your DVDs.
We just was out there doing some lectures. You ain't know about
and
it?
I did not know anything about you.
Hold on. D-Lo. D-Lo.
I did not know anything.
So wait a minute.
And I had to come all the way from
D-Lo.
the Turnpike to know that you were in my hometown down the street from me.
This is a problem for Brother D-Lo Morgan.
And what do you know? I find you at Black and Nobel.
Yes.
Where I
Yeah, Black and Nobel.
This is my first stop every
Sundays,
time I get here.
1 p.m., the minister will be in the building.
Every time I come.
Books, herbs, DVDs, everything will be in the building. So.
Now, the DVD that I really like the most is the one about the cellular water. Now, the DVD that I really like the most is the one about the cellular water, cellular water.
I bet you didn't know that your favorite coffees, juices, beers, sodas, all that is made with tap water.
Yes, ma'am.
I love that. I love that.
Going in with the aborted kidney fetus cells. And
yes, and that brings me to another point, because I was talking to somebody, and I was learning about Pepsi.
Yes.
And I remember that I was in love with Pepsi for years. And I wasn't in love with Pepsi until I moved to Ohio, and it's so addictive. It's like crack, IV pole, just kind of, a case a day. I used to bother my ex-husband because he popped it again. I said, now I only have 12 left. So when I did the research,
you only have 12 cans
I only
left.
have 12 left till the morning.
God. Till the morning.
Literally. And I put on 80 pounds from just drinking the Pepsi, and all the Pepsi that I drank ruined my thyroid. It ruined my thyroid. So any of you who are on Pepsi, you may want to. That caramel color.
And what's happening is, if you've been studying the books, you see what's going on. You got the white blood cells in the body, which are the cells in your body that responds to aborted kidney cells. So you have to have cannibal cells to respond to, like humans in your food. So it's the cannibal cells in your body that get hooked on the kidney cells that they taken from aborted babies, putting into the Pepsi, right? Now, your thyroid, your thymus, your parathyroid, these are the glands in the body that not only control energy, but they also control your natural immunity, which is your electricity in the body. So now when you have an overrunning of white blood cells, that's the first thing that's going to go. So in order to fix that, we have to get you on some flex on the beach and get them sea vegetables in there with all that fresh iodine and get that stuff fixed right away.
So what's good for that? Seaweed or kelp?
All of that stuff. All that stuff. Seaweed, kelp, Irish moss, there's a couple of them. Bladderwrack. I have about 7 or 8 different ones in the flex on the beach, even though flex on the beach is so loud. But
oh, you were telling me that now.
Yeah. We have it here.
I'm on medication and have been for 13 years. And they can't regulate my thyroid levels.
Yeah, it's
so I'm trying to do health.
Yeah. Natural sea vegetables. Of course, you got to get the right sunlight in, and you got to try to fight the little creepy crawlies inside.
Yeah, the craving for Pepsi.
But you look good though. You look like you lost all that weight.
I did. I actually lost 3 pounds because I do not eat meat anymore. I don't do dairy anymore. Yes.
63 pounds. No meat, no dairy, no Pepsi.
Yes.
63 pounds. No meat, no dairy, no Pepsi. Watching that Minister EnQi. That's what it is right here.
You can do it if I can.
That's it. What you want to do? 63 pounds.
63
All right, the 6 and the 3, that's the 9. That's Osiris number. All right, we're going crazy.
I bet you didn't know that your favorite coffees, juices, beers, sodas, all that is made with tap water.
My name is Minister EnQi. I am the naturopathic doctor and the spokesman for the Melanin Verse Diabetes Ministry. Every time you go to the supermarket without the electrician grocery shopping list, it's like putting a loaded gun to your head. Stop playing Russian roulette with your life. Help us make
you look great, by the way, too. You're in shape.
Learn how to save time. Learn how to save money with the electrician grocery shopping list on Amazon now. Go to Amazon now. The life you save may be your own.
You look great, by the way, too. You're in shape.
I appreciate
you was getting fat for a minute.
I know it's just falling off me, man. I don't know what it is. It's just falling off me. I ain't doing nothing special. I think it's them herbs he be giving my man's right here.
Herbs?
What's the herbs?
I don't think you pronounced the H, by the way.
Herbs? No, you do.
No, that's the right way.
No, they herbs. What's that stuff you be giving me?
Come on over here to the mic, polo sweater, man.
Tell him.
Ralph Lauren.
It's them herbs he got, man. Y'all, you need to get some of them herbs, man.
What is herbs?
What are you his nutritionist?
Yeah. I'm the nutritionist for the team.
Okay. We're doing the 40-day. Well, my daughter's doing it, because I don't eat it anyway. No bread, no pasta, no bread, no pasta. What else?
EnQi, I gotta say this to you. You are the face now of the health and nutrition. You are the most qualified brother to speak on health and nutrition. It is you, and you better make the best of it, brother.
My name is Minister EnQi. I am the naturopathic doctor and the spokesman for the Melanin Verse Diabetes Ministry.
Oh, I know what I'm supposed to do. I know what I'm supposed to do. Yeah. Good thing I had my grocery shopping list. Don't leave home without it.
Empress and them and the few of the sisters was talking about health and eating, 40 days of fasting. And he came up saying he wrote books on 40 days of fasting. He created some one of them he created. And they
the 40-day fruit fast. Is that's the one he was talking about?
I don't know. They shot the nigga.
Your science shaky. You need to read Dr. EnQi books.
So among other things, our conversations with Zip. You know, a lot of people listen, but only a few really be listening. And out of the few that really be listening, Sonetta's one of them. I said, yo, EnQi, man, why you let Zip get away talking that milk shit? I was like, he didn't get away. Don't think because I haven't addressed it that he got away. It's just sometimes I don't know how to line all this up. Like I told y'all got to be patient with me on my young elder shit. Like y'all don't understand. Y'all supporting me is supporting the whole community because I got to deal with all this, right? So, and y'all in your mind, y'all thinking, oh, well, you know, stop, Zip, you know, don't talk to those kind of people. Like, wait a minute. Zip is over here talking about tap water and, you know, y'all confused. Zip's nowhere near as big a problem as KT is because Zip doesn't tell people he's a health professional. KT is telling people he's a health professional and he's recommending to people to drink urine. So I got to wrestle with the urine. Milk with Zip, right? And then on the back burner with milk with Zip, urine with KT. Humans are not designed to drink water from Brother Yaki. I got Victor in the back somewhere with this buffalo milk shit that he got going. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with these folks with these exotic foods that I guess they just be looking for something that nobody else can find so they can say, eat this so it can seem like it's a vibe. Like, I just don't understand it. I don't know what they're doing. But anyway, you got urine on the menu. You got buffalo milk on the menu. Like, what you want me to do? What you want me to do? Zip saying Allah said it's okay to sell crack. KT said it's nutritious to drink piss. What you want me to do? I want to know what y'all want me to do about this. Hold on. KT telling niggas to drink urine. On one side, I got drink urine. On the other side, I got what you want me to do? Right? So then I got Wesley Muhammad. Right? So if I just separate everything and just get down to just the milk universe, I got Zip, Wesley Muhammad, Dr. Sabi's son. So all these different questions about just the basics, milk, you know, and I try to put humor to it to help me from losing my, you know, like Melly Mel said back in the days, it's like what he said, it's like a wondersome time. makes me wonder. Wait, it's like a jungle sometime. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. Something like, I don't know. That was my pop's favorite song. Rap song anyway. He's always say, you ain't got nothing better than the Message. So I got to deal with all these different angles, right? So we addressed the milk thing to the point where now this is in the book. So of course we'll one of these days we'll deal with it specifically, but we break down the surahs in the Quran, right? So we look at those, and then we also, because I noticed that these Nation of Islam people specifically like to play mind games. They like to play mind games. Let me tell you about these Nation of Islam. So here's the game the 2024 Nation of Islam folks play with you. When the conversation works for them to be actual Muslims, they're Muslims. They study the Quran. But when the conversation does not work, oh, they're not following the Quran. They're following Farah, Muhammad, and Elijah's teachings. They following supreme wisdom lessons, right? So if you're having a conversation with one of these brothers, they will. You have to find out what foundation they standing on, because they'll move around. So what I did was, when discussing the milk, we discussed the surahs from the Quran, where the milk is a discussion, but then also How to Eat to Live book 1 and How to Eat to Live book 2, right? And you know how we do: page, paragraph, sentence. Page, paragraph, sentence. Like, we're not even going, 27th page, 4th paragraph, 4th sentence. What that say right there about milk supplements? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not even going to play. We're going to go right to the... So it's a lot of exciting things on multiple levels. Yeah, because the milk thing is still a thing. Even listen, even in the CMOS space. Listen, even in the CMOS space, the milk conversation is still a big conversation, because as people are trying to do their CMOS research, they're finding that a lot of these textbooks, they say that like culinary books and things, like, oh yeah, you get, CMOS binds, has a binding affinity with cow's milk, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of recipes for CMOS now are being, cat milk and CMOS. You know what I'm saying? Milk and CMOS recipes. So there's a lot of we gotta be vigilant with what it is that we're doing. We gotta be vigilant with what it is that we're doing. We gotta realize what's what. People quick to say, because they may not fully understand me, where I'm coming from, how I'm speaking, I'm trying to scam them. I've even literally had arguments online where brothers have literally said, all that herb and diet stuff is foolery. You're scamming the people. That doesn't work. You cannot exercise and eat to be healthy. Like, I've literally had people say these types of things, right? And so in these forums, we get to get together and laugh at, oh, look how dumb this, like, but in reality, in these little pockets, we are the majority because we know better. But in the world, we're the minority, the super minority. These people saying these crazy statements is really what John Q. Public is. So when you look at a Zip or this person or that person or whoever, this is John Q. Public. You can't be a healer out to the masses if you're not ready to talk to this person or that person, or you're like, yo, why you dealing with this one, or how you. Nigga, you don't get to choose. If you a healer, you a healer. If you was a healer during the Civil War, a real healer, you would have had to deal with Union people and, your Democrats.
Peace to the family. This is Abdul Ali, candidate for U.S. House District 12 here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Let's just be real, folks. The Democrats have destroyed our major cities. Their policies have made us less safe, they've given us less economic opportunity, and they've provided less educational opportunities for our children. And that's why I'm running for Congress, because I know what it takes to improve these issues. I've got great working relationships already in D.C. I've spent the last 10 years of my life building my political resume so that one of us, somebody who thinks like we do, could get into D.C. and make a difference. I want you to visit AliForCongress.com to find out more about my campaign. The Democrats have already done enough, and now they're putting illegal aliens in front of people like you and me.
For a minute. It's just falling off me, man. I don't know what it is. It's just falling off me. I ain't doing nothing special. I think it's them herbs he be giving. My man's right here.
Herbs?
What's the herbs?
I don't think you pronounce the H, by the way.
Herbs?
No, you do.
No, they herbs. What's that stuff you be giving me?
Come on over here to the mic, polo sweater, man.
Tell him.
Ralph Lauren.
It's them herbs he got, man. You need some of them herbs, man.
What is herbs?
What
Are you his
nutritionist?
Yeah. I'm the nutritionist for the team.
We're doing the 40-day. Well, my daughter's doing it, because I don't eat it anyway. No bread, no pasta, no bread, no pasta. What else?
EnQi, I gotta say this to you. You are the face now of the health and nutrition. You are the most qualified brother to speak on health and nutrition. It is you, and you better make the best of it, brother.
My name is Minister EnQi. I am the naturopathic doctor and the spokesman for the Melanin Verse Diabetes Ministry.
Oh, I know what I'm supposed to do. Yeah. Good thing I have my grocery shopping list. Don't leave home without it.
Empress and them and the few of the sisters was talking about health and eating, 40 days of fasting, and he came up saying he wrote books on 40 days of fasting. He created one of them he created, and they
the 40-day fruit fast. Is that's the one he was talking about?
I don't know. They shot the nigga.
Your science shaky. You really need to read Dr. EnQi books.
So now, we've been on here for about 3 hours, but I'm surprised. Let me say this. I'm surprised at you guys. And I didn't realize last week, right, when I was doing the videos, week before last, doing the videos on water, the Mona Harris stuff, we caught a vibe. We had a couple of people echo our thoughts, stole the IP. They want to steal all the spiel. You know what I'm saying? But we caught a vibe because I was telling, I said, y'all acting like y'all don't understand that you drinking like 1,000 times more tap water than you are good quality water. You know, you don't realize it. You think you don't drink no tap water, but you drink tap water. And it's just ironic to me because you got a lot of people that feel like if you're pushing herbs, that's a scam. You know, herbs don't heal people. You still got people that feel like that. And for me, I feel like I feel like I'm uncovering the scam of the century with this tap water shit. I don't see how people is not furious. Like literally, tap water is seen as garbage. A lot of people call tap water toilet water. So for me, people need to be furious. They find out that, hold on, you think you're not drinking tap water. You've been drinking tap water this whole time. You go to a store, you go to a restaurant, you're like, oh, hey, what y'all? Or you out of town, like you go out the country, especially on vacation. Oh, I don't drink, let me get a bottle. If you don't get a bottle of water, you getting tap. If you don't get a Fiji or something like an Avion, if you don't get one certain, you getting tap. And you're gonna pay 200 times or 2,000 times the price that you could have paid for that tap because it's tap. It's tap. When you buy Pepsi, you're buying tap water. Listen to what I'm saying. You have Pepsi, you have tap water. What is Pepsi? Pepsi is tap water plus color, plus soda, plus acid, right? But it's tap plus all those other chemicals. So let's look at it like this, right? Say tap water is bad because of whatever reason you think that tap water is bad. I don't want to argue. I'm going to agree with whatever you saying, right? Some of you niggas watching right now, you say, oh, the tap water is bad because, the fluoride is in the tap water. So we can't put the fluoride because, it's going to go on my pineal gland. And okay, cool. I'm going to agree with you. Even if I don't agree with you, for argument's sake, I'm going to agree with you. Cool. It's a fluoride in there. It's going to get you. Got it. Some of y'all watching it, oh, no, EnQi, no, we learned from Flint, yeah, they got the lead in there and, the small lead, I'm with you. Lead, this one, that one, all of those things could be true. The more we complicate, the more we complicate this shit. Like,
you look great, by the way, too. You're in shape.
I appreciate
Yeah, you was getting fat for a minute.
I know it's just falling off me, man. I don't know what it is. It's just falling off me. I ain't doing nothing special. I think it's them herbs he be giving my man's right here. He be
Herbs?
Herbs? What's the
I
herbs?
don't think you pronounced the H, by the way.
Herbs?
No, you do.
No, that's the right way.
No, they herbs. What's that stuff you be giving me?
Come on over here to the mic, polo sweater man.
Tell him.
Ralph Lauren.
It's them herbs he got, man. You need to do some of them herbs, man.
That's the algorithm.
Are you his nutritionist?
Yeah. I'm the nutritionist for the team.
Okay. We're doing the 40-day. Well, my daughter's doing it, because I don't eat it anyway.
That's
No bread, no
the algorithm.
pasta.
Sometimes this stuff makes me laugh. I realize everybody doesn't get the nerd humor, right? So listen, try not to overcomplicate this stuff. No matter what you think is the reason why tap water is bad, the lead, the residue of the drugs, the chlorine, whatever. That's the bottom line. That's the foundation. We're going to put that over here, right? Lead, chlorine, fluoride, all these things. Now, that's there. Rest that over there. And remember, we're not debating. I'm not arguing with nobody. I'm just conversating, right? Judgment free, right? There were some of us with good reason that feels like processed sugar is bad for you. We're going to put that over here, right? So we got our water stuff over here. We got our fluoride, our lead, our chlorine, our, prescription drugs that's in the water, whatever, or bleach, all that's over here. On this side, we're dealing with something totally different. Now we're talking about processed sugar. Yeah, that's probably not that good for you. We're talking about artificial colors. Oh, yeah, that's probably not that good for you. We're talking about, you see where I'm going with this? So now tap water has whatever you already said it has. So now if you're one of the lead people, okay, so let's start. Our tap water has lead, if that's where you at with it. In order to get that water to become soda, we still got to add the colors, the sugars, this is still this. The tap water is still the tap water. So if it's still the lead, it's still the lead. If it's still the chlorine, it's still the chlorine. If it's still the residual, whatever is in that tap, still the tap. This is why I'm telling you, tap water in many instances is more healthier for you than soda. People are very confused about this. People will drink a soda instead of a tap water in a heartbeat. And these is people that you think should know better. They'll have a glass of Minute Maid or a glass of whatever. Oh, I don't drink tap. Let me get a coffee. I'll take me a coffee. I'm like, wait, nigga, what? Hold on. So you think that because you went to Starbucks and you paid $4, $5, $6 for your, choco latte, whatever you got, in your mind, you must have thought they made that mocha latte. You must have thought they made that coffee with Fiji. You must have thought they went and got a bottled water and made that. No, that coffee that I don't drink no bottled water. Let me get a coffee. That coffee is tap water. So when you say you don't drink tap, bring you a soda, you're just saying I don't drink plain tap. Let me get colored and sweetened tap. You see. Hopefully, I want to say it so many times it becomes crystal clear, so everybody is as angry as I am. Because if you're not angry and you're not ready to raise hell, you're not ready to go on the internet right now and tell 20,000 people, "Yo, Dr. EnQi said, let's get furious." First of all, we're gonna go right now to Amazon and we're gonna get 1,000 copies of Dr. EnQi's book. And then we're going to go and we're going to start burning Dr. EnQi's books on the steps of hospitals and on courthouse building steps and video it and put it on internet so we can raise hell. And yeah, well, give her like a little, there's that level, then there's a little less, whatever's less than burning the book on. I got a little carried away right there. But yeah, try to, yeah. You should be angry. This is a real scam. This is a scam. You got people turning down. Listen to this. I don't drink tap. Do not bring me a cup of tap. I will not have that. Free cup of plain tap. I will not get a free drink of tap. Do not bring that to me. That's beneath me. Instead, bring me a orange colored tap with sugar and yellow number 5 and red number 40 mixed in. And put some acid in there so it get bubbly. Stir mine up. Let me get. Now you got a sun kiss. You see? So you start with the tap water. You add the orange color. Now you got a sun kiss. This should be on the news. This is some hot shit here. Then listen. Not only are you the tap water cut, the cup of tap is free. You getting ready to pay $2.25, $2.50 for that sun kiss. So you're going to turn down the free glass of pure tap, and you're going to pay 250% the price because you're getting ready to pay $2.50 to buy that same tap with more chemicals in it, with more sugar in it, with more poison. You're going to start with whatever poison you believe is in your tap, and now you add in too much sugar. Whatever's the right amount, just too much. Because when we buy that little personal size bottle of soda, you turn it around on the back, that's like 2.5 servings. You're not supposed to have all that soda. It's not safe, but they allow you to get the 20 ounce. It's not safe. Anyway, so all that, that's a scam, and you're paying $2.50 for something. Do you know, listen, I attempted to get people plugged into a natural spring to get real fresh spring water with no corporations in between us and the water. I said, EnQi, that's a scam. Niggas selling you tap water for $2.50 for 16 ounces of tap water. Hey, nobody pay attention to this. That your beer is tap water. I don't drink no tap water. Let me get a Heineken. Nigga, Heineken is tap water. I hope you don't believe that when they make Heinekens that they're buying Fijis and then putting yeast and bacteria in it to ferment until it turns into Heineken. That's not what they're doing. I guarantee you that's not what they're doing. When you're going to get orange juice from the supermarket, the orange juice is tap water, dum-dum. Listen, I'm not going to stop till y'all get angry. Because y'all, listen, we've been so brainwashed, you niggas don't even know how angry you're supposed to be right now. You don't even know how angry you're supposed to be right now. You're supposed to be infuriated. I'm not even supposed to find words to accurately describe our level of anger. Right now, they're supposed to be sending in Al Sharpton to calm those niggas down. Right now, there should be a man with a headset and Al Sharpton walking up my driveway to stop me from enraging you niggas at home that's watching this video right now when you find out how you've been taken advantage of. That's how angry you're supposed to be right now. And I don't sense that level of anger. Right? I don't sense that level of anger. You should be at that level of anger. Yeah, listen, I'm telling you, bro, I'm telling you, everybody done did this. I done did this. I done been victim. I'm in there like, yeah, hold up. Nah, I don't drink no tap water. What y'all got? Y'all got grapefruit juice. Y'all got orange juice. Those is tap. Nigga, you getting tap water? You getting tap. When you go to a restaurant, listen, everybody, go Cash App Dr. EnQi right now. Listen, this shit right here, my Cat Williams voice. Just imagine that shit right here. This shit right here. This is my cat. What this shit right here? Go hit the Cash App. Hit the Cash App. You got to hit the Cash App. This is too much. Dude. You can't just listen to this here like this here. It's too much now. You got to come on now.
Charles to get more than that interview. Oh Lord, that's crazy. I done got 40,000 for an interview.
Damn.
I went to California last year. Right after the BET Awards, man. I was right, man, 40,000. Nigga, I did a 8-hour interview.
Faith and love, love and faith, faith and love, love.
I know some of y'all thought, listen, trust me, when you go to a restaurant, what do most restaurants have? When you go there, what they got? They got orange juice, they got grapefruit juice, they got cranberry juice. Guess what? The orange, the grapefruit, and the cranberry is tap. Them shits is 100% tap. What you think is the difference between freshly squeezed and concentrate? Concentrate is you start off with a little bit of the real stuff, and then what you add to it? Water. They add water. Now, when they add water, what do you niggas think they added? You think this big corporation that got to make a zillion bottles of this shit, you think they starting off with artesian? Huh? No. That is the magical ingredient, is the free one. The free ingredient is the bulk ingredient. That's the main ingredient. So when you get a soda, 20-ounce soda, right? 20-ounce soda, 19 point something of those ounces is tap water. There's just a little pinch of acid, a little pinch of sugar, some color. Soda. So you got 20 ounces of water with a half a pinch of a few little powders and ingredients. Faygo, Sprite, Heineken, Tropicana juice. All that shit is tap. I want to talk about that. How do you get niggas to pay for tap water at $1,000 per gallon? Scam of the century. Scam of the century. This is so embarrassing. Listen, this is so embarrassing. I'm going to be honest. It took me a while to share this with the public. Listen, this is some shit that's so embarrassing. It took me a while to share with the public. So I know that each one of you going to have to wrestle with it personally before you share it with people, because you embarrassed that you was out there selling. No. I don't drink no tap water. Hey, I don't drink no tap water. Let me get let me see that menu. Let me see that damn menu. Give me that menu. What's on that menu? Let me see that menu. Give me that menu. Let me see that menu. This is you in the restaurant. Look, this is you. This is you, right? You watching, not somebody else. No, this is you. This is you. You in the restaurant right now. You've been watching your Dr. EnQi shit. You done watched a few Sabi. This is you. This is you right here. You're in the restaurant. Yeah. And this is you out with a shorty. Look, this is you out with a shorty, right? Because listen, women is different how they play their shit. Men wearing it on their sleeve. Men be so proud they done personally upgraded, they self-developed. So we definitely going down. Twice as much as women. Here we go. We in the menu. Oh man. You don't have anything besides the tap water. You know, I'm doing this whole thing where I'm cleaning out my body. You know, from when you say cleaning out your body, That's when you look away from the waitress and you look at Shorty real quick so you can make eye contact right at cleaning out my body. So, she know that she might be in trouble for later. Like you looking at the waitress and then what else I got to drink? Because, I don't drink the tap water because, I be cleaning out my body, and so do y'all have any like 100% juice? And then this is how they play you. Now, when you ask them, do they have any 100% juice? This is what they say. They say, oh yeah, we got juice. I didn't ask you if you had juice, lady. Stop fucking playing with me. See, you're gonna get me, pardon my French. It's a pet peeve of mine. I can get a little crazy. I didn't ask you if you had juice. I asked you if you had 100% juice. So she won't play mind game. She said, oh, no, we don't have. Let me check. I'm not sure. You are sure. 1,000 other people asked you. Did you know the answer's no? But you're trained to never say no because you're working on a tip, right? And the more you ring up, the higher the tip. So the juice is fake. So now if you're in a nice little spot, then well, listen. I see y'all got the smoothies. Yeah, I think let me get one of those smoothies. I think I'll have me a smoothie because you know what? Do y'all have a little extra Let me get the extra protein added in. Let me get the smoothie with a little extra protein. You want to get one of these? This is no, I'm on this. This is what, yeah. You never heard of Dr. Sabi? No, you never seen the guy with the gold teeth? EnQi, what's his name? You know the guy, EnQi? You never heard? Oh man, you gotta get. All right, so here. If you don't drink yours, I'll drink it for you. Here, let me get a green smoothie, 2 green smoothies. That's just. I don't drink no tap. I don't drink no tap. What you think them smoothies is? Woo, nigga! Listen, what you think them smoothies is? What you think them smoothies is? When you go out to the smoothie place, the juice bar, I don't care if you're talking about the fake juice bars where they got the syrup fruits, or if you go into the real joint with the rosters with their dreadlocks dragging on the ground. They got their dreads in their back pocket so they don't touch the ground. Listen, I don't care where you go. The smoothie is tap water. Doc, why would you say that? How you going to say all of the smoothies is tap water? Because what goes in the blender? Duh. Before any ingredients goes in the blender, what go in the blender? They fill up the whole blender with ice. You niggas cannot believe that ice is made from Fiji. You have to stop saying, bring me a smoothie because I don't drink no tap water. Because your smoothie is 80% is tap water. %, your smoothie is tap water. The whole thing, ice, is all tap water. Ain't none of that ice feet. That's sink water, tap water. Listen, that ain't even tap water. That's like sink water. Like they spritz it. Listen, it's like 4 or 5 Mexican niggas. Listen to what I'm telling you. It's like 6 Mexican niggas in the back of the kitchen. You got the sink. You got the clean sinks where they doing food and different things like that. And then you got the unskilled okay, in a kitchen, you have skilled labor and you have unskilled labor. So whenever you hear about undocumented labor working in restaurants and shit like that's the unskilled labor. Okay. So trust me, if you go in a restaurant, you will know without ever having been, you'll know, ooh, that sink must be for the dishes. Because you ain't making no food over there. That should look crazy. That sink right there, the one that you think look crazy, that you would never eat or drink from, man, that's the one they filling up the ice joint with. Nigga, what? Listen, excuse my language. Where you think you're getting ice from for these smoothies? It's all tap. This shit all tap water. This is the biggest scam of all time. Tap water. Magical scam. Tap water. When you buy ice cream, when you get ice cream, whether you got vegan ice cream or you got dairy ice cream, you bought tap. You never made ice cream before? The ice of ice cream, yeah, all that ice is frozen tap. Okay? People have no idea how long this con actually goes. This con run long. When you buy that animal milk, what you think you buying? You buying tap. When you buy animal milk, you buying tap. And when you buy nut milk, what you think you buying? Tap. You think they making that almond milk with Fiji? Nigga, do you think they making a zillion half a gallons of that almond milk is tap water? Listen, the almond milk is tap water. You're going to start with some tap. You're going to add in you a little vanilla. You're going to add you a handful or two of almonds in there. You're going to hit the blender. And almond milk, fresh made, tap. That's tap. You can put a few ice cubes, maybe, maybe not. That's tap. See, that's what I'm saying. It's levels to this, and I don't be one to have to act a fool sometime because y'all be mistaking my passion for something else. And I'm like, no, I feel like I'm Rowdy Piper. I'm Rowdy Piper. I'm really in like a day live situation where it's like, that's why I be saying EnQi vision, because I feel like when I put on the glasses, I see the world in a whole nother way, and everybody else is on some, oh no, we don't drink tap water. Let me get us a Dr. Pepper. I'm like, nigga, you just, oh, I don't drink tap water. Let me get a bottle of Moet. Like, what? All this shit is tap. You think these niggas talking about wine? Oh no, this is wine. See, that's where you're wrong. You're almost right, EnQi, but you're kind of wrong because see, this wine, this is pure grapes, and this is, nigga, please, pure grapes from what? From where? If you ain't spending hundreds on them bottles, it's tap. It's tap. It's tap. It's tap. It's tap. It's tap. Even a lot of the fruits and the vegetables, it's tap. Even a lot of the fruits and the vegetables is tap. What do you think? The farmers is putting Fiji on the kale? Nigga, what? No, nigga, they hosing that shit down. They hosing it down. When the cows get hot and they got doodle on their back and flies buzzing on their back, and the farmer want to get them some relief and spray their back with the hose, that's the same hose that he sprayed to clean the shit that's off the cow back. That same hose, he gonna spray them tomatoes and them grapes with. Tap. Hey, he said, nah, that's distilled. That's tap. So we got to understand this thing from a whole nother perspective, this whole water thing. That's why I'm saying everybody's still even confused on the water thing. We got 1,000 people teaching you about water and structure. They don't know what they're talking about. I know, because I could look at every one of them, listen to their information. I could tell who they studying and where they're at in their studies. Oh, you just figuring out the molecule memory thing, or oh, you over here with a Saro, Emoto, and the frozen snowflake water, or you over here with the Gerald Pollock and the, like, it's none of that. The Gerald Pollock, this one, none of that's what you. So if you listen to every piece of Gerald Pollock material that has ever been published, public or private, in none of his books or none of his lectures does he talk about the 4 different types of water that's inside your bones. So now you running around like the rest of these guys, you thinking structured water is everything, and you thinking, oh, okay, if P then Q. If structured water is all I need to learn about water, if P then Q. Who is the guy that knows the most about structured water? Oh, academia says Gerald Pollock. Okay, well, let me go to Amazon right now. Boop. All Gerald Pollock books. Boop. Into the cart. Check out. Bang. 3 months. Once I read all these books, I'm going to be equal to the smartest nigga in the world on structured water because I done read all of the material. Right up until you find out, you only thing you're going to find out after you study all that is how much you don't know. Now, here's the thing. How am I able to say that? The thing is, you can't say that until you get to the end of the rainbow, or at least further down the road. So you can't say what you will or won't learn by reading and studying all of Gerald Pollock's books until you do what? Read and study all Gerald Pollock books. Once you read and study all Gerald Pollock books, then you can say, oh, I know what's not in those books. How you know? How do I know what's there? I have all the books right here, and I can show you. I can show you none of this is in these books. So I can go through and I can praise Mona Harris to high heaven, but I can also say, well, this is not in there. This is not in there. This is not in there. It's all facts. Right? Are these parts of the puzzle we need? Yeah, absolutely. But this is not the whole picture. So if you study Gerald Pollock, you think this whole, you're going to be lost. Right? If you any one of these you got to get the whole picture. Right? Because those are elementary conversations, in all honesty. Whereas when you just start coming in contact with that stuff, because it's on alternate thought stations and platforms, you think it's a lot deeper than it really is. So water having memory, like that's basics. The structure of water, okay, the hexagon and all, that's basics, because you can't get any of the higher understanding if you don't understand the structure of water. If you don't understand how water has a temporary memory to it, then you don't understand how water can carry information. If you don't understand how water can carry information, then you don't understand water as the basis of life, right? So we can learn some of these things and think they deep, and they really don't be deep. They be basic shit that we supposed to build on top of. Oh, water got memory? Okay, so now what? What does that mean? If it's memory, that means it can store information. So you can put information in. So there's a type of information that we could put in. It'll stay in there for a given amount of time, and then we can retrieve it. That's what memory means in water. So if that's the case, that must have a purpose in biology. So that's okay. So what's the mediums of information now? So now we're back to light, magnetism, sound, electricity, those types of things, right? Structure of water. Structure of water is about speed of biochemistry and what type of biochemical reactions can happen, right? So learning about the hexagonal arrangement of structured water just tells you the possibilities, because geometry is going to tell you the potential for the energy that exists in that system or that shape, right? But the main thing I continuously communicate with the EnQi cycle is that the process of the water structuring is more important than the idea of structured water. because you don't have frozen water anywhere in your body. That's the difference between Jello and what's inside your cell. The Jello, once it's Jello, it's just Jello like that on your plate, or like a sea moss gel. It's like, it's just that. It's just gel, right? Like that. In your cell, it's a jelly, like similar to like a Jello or sea moss gel, but it's not, because it's constantly breaking down and reforming itself at the same time. So it's like a living thing. It's some other. It's a scale, basically, because you got a negative and a positive polarity constantly accumulating and pulling. And the difference between the two charge values is where you get. So this is where stuff like this becomes important. The Dr. Sebi, Dr. EnQi book, right? Where we get to go into acid and base reactions, right? So acid-base reactions kind of start right there with that. So we get the structure, the geometry of the thing. Now we know what the potential layout is of the molecules and how they could react, right? And then the basic reactions is obviously going to be protons and electrons moving around. Protons, electrons moving around. So if the transaction is proton driven, it's going to be acid driven, or vice versa. If it's a electron driven, that's alkaline or base, donating electrons. So we gotta learn, like, level, grade 1, grade 2, as we build understanding. Yeah, niggas like the jokes. When I start making jokes, we get a few more viewers. When I stop the jokes and go back to the science, a few niggas tunes out. Yeah, y'all ain't no good. It's hard to teach. Hey, it's hard to teach. Listen. The idea of a pyramid, I think the idea of a pyramid is I think it's a fundamental feature in nature. Nah. It's only a handful of y'all, though. It's only a handful of y'all, though. It's, It's only a handful. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody ain't here for the skullduggery. They edutainment, education, and entertainment. Entertainment, everybody enjoys. The education part, not so much. Right? But this is just what it is. So the lymphatic immunity book, brand new look at water. You see your body as a water system. So one of the things, and me and Osborne, we kind of text about this from time to time. We got to get to a space, right? And this is what the ancient alchemist was talking about, the alchemy of the body, right? Because nothing is static. Everything is changing. Everything is acting on something else. So the easiest way to understand the body is to see everything as a substrate, because everything has to change into something else. Like if we talk about kale as being healthy, right? Well, it's not actually the kale. The kale is the whole container. But it's actually stuff that's in that container, which is what we need the reason why we refer to the whole thing. It's like a cup holding water. We need the water. The cup, we don't necessarily, the cup is fiber. We don't forget about the cup. We don't digest that. We just need the water. Same thing with a plant. A plant is holding antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, this one, that one. We need those. The amino acids, the fats, we need those. The sugars for energy, we need those. Right? Can y'all hear that? If y'all cannot hear that, that means my mic is insanely good. This is a Waveman 3 mic from Amazon. It's lightning and it's storming right now. It's going crazy over here. It is going crazy over here. But we got to see the body as a water system. Everything as a substrate, even the water you drink. Your body's going to process it. And it's going to turn it into the different waters that your body needs. Because your body needs different waters. Telling you, we're at the forefront of some shit. If you ain't buying the books, you're not gonna understand what we talk. Your body needs different waters. Cerebral spinal fluid for your brain and your spine, that's a type of water. Right? Think about this. Let's use that. Let's count. Let's just do a little count. You got fluid in your lungs, it's called pleurisy. When it's in the right amount, it's good. If you get a lot, then it's a problem. Right? But pleurisy is a fluid from your lungs. You got another type of thing inside your ears called perilymph, something to that effect. It's some type of lymph, right? It's in your ear. Then you got vitreous fluid inside your eye. You have synovial fluid in the joints. What I said, you got 4 different types of water in the bones. You see, the list goes on, right? The list goes on. All of these are different waters because it's a water, but the values of the amino acids and the proteins and the minerals and those things are different. So the value of the water that makes up, or the fluid that makes up the interstitial fluid, say, those values are going to be different than what makes up the plasma of blood. Even though if we put them on a machine to analyze it, both of them is just going to be 90% water or 95% water. But if we break down what the other 5% is, it's a different combination of minerals, proteins, fats, whatever. That combination of chemicals is what determines what type of that water that is. And each area in your body needs a different type. So your body's the system that makes the waters. That's why we got a whole book called Mitochondrial Water. Because your mitochondria is making water. You know what I'm saying? Like this what I'm saying. It's another level that we got to get to this. It's another gear we got to go into.
You look great, by the way, too. You're in shape.
I appreciate
you was getting fat for a minute.
I know it's just falling off me, man. I don't know what it is. It's just falling off me. I ain't doing nothing special. I think it's them herbs he be giving. My man's right here.
Herbs?
What's the herbs?
I don't think you pronounced the H, by the way.
Herbs?
No, you do. No, that's the right way.
No, they herbs. What's that stuff you be giving me?
Come on over here to the mic, polo sweater man.
Tell him.
Ralph Lauren.
It's them herbs he got, man. You need some of them herbs, man.
What is herbs?
What are you his nutritionist?
Yeah. I'm the nutritionist for the team.
Okay. We're doing the 40-day. Well, my daughter's doing it, because I don't eat it anyway. No bread, no pasta, no bread, no pasta. What else?
EnQi, I gotta say this to you. You are the face now of the health and nutrition. You are the most qualified brother to speak on health and nutrition. It is you, and you better make the best of it, brother.
My name is Minister EnQi. I am the naturopathic doctor and the spokesman for the Melanin Verse Diabetes Ministry.
Oh, I know what I'm supposed to do. I know what I'm supposed to do. Yeah. Good thing I have my grocery shopping list. Don't leave home without it.
Empress and them and a few of the sisters was talking about health and eating 40 days of fasting. And he came up saying he wrote books on 40 days of fasting. He created some one of them he created. And they
the 40-day fruit fast. Is that's the one he was talking about?
I don't know. They shot the nigga.
Your science shaky. You need to read Dr. EnQi books.
So we got a lot of information. We got a lot of information in this book. I really don't want y'all to waste the opportunity. Jump on this ASAP. Get 2 or 3 of these for yourself. Get 1 to read, 1 to put away, 1 to give away. Go buy 3 of them right now. Go buy 3 of them. 1 for you to beat up, 1 for you to put away, and then 1 for you to give away so nobody had to steal yours. Yeah. Even though I'm the author, some of these books, like I try to get 2 books, 1 I could beat up, 1 I could save. But sometimes I have to get more than that because I know somebody's going to steal or try to steal. So I have to have, like the kitchen chemistry book, I had to get a couple extra versions, a couple extra copies of that. Because people will come here to my house and try to steal mine. Thinking in their mind, oh, you EnQi, you got nothing. Oh, put my book down. We don't put my book. What was that? The blood clot. So certain joints, and I'm telling you right now, this is one of them. I'm telling you now, this ain't the generational health books. These ain't the big words. This ain't for the church. This ain't these. It's a lot of information we go through talking about the connection between melanin, hydrogen, and the microbiome and the diet, and just totally new ways that many people will probably never even have imagined. We never imagined, but we, like I said earlier, we just stumbled on to some of these benefits. That's a part of what they say when God opened the door for you. Seriously. Because that's a whole nother conversation you got to have now when we talk about inflammaging, right? The skin controlling metabolic disease. Now, we control that conversation was we created that melanin versus diabetes. Pigment regulating the immune system in the skin. Well, when we get into the kitchen chemistry book, the orthorexia book, the autodidact book, and we start talking about chlorophyll now being active post-digestion, still absorbing light. Now we have to start to ask these other questions because we know that this same chlorophyll is what's related to the magnesium. We know the magnesium is going to stimulate molecular hydrogen production, but on the back end, we also know that the electron and the proton gradients that need to be generated for the mitochondria to recycle ATP is also going to be powered with the same process. So now we know, right? Because we've been knew that you need magnesium for ATP to work. But now we know that the magnesium is not only escorting the ATP as MAG-ATP, which is the molecular energy, the full molecule, but now we know it's powering that initial transaction between the melanin and the NAD, right? That we talk about in the EnQi cycle. So we talk about the sound, vibration, the movement, spiraling of the water, right? The hydrophobic, hydrophilic surfaces and all that, initiating the process of structuring water. When that happens, melanin being able to harness those free electrons, pass those off to NAD, and then NAD can shuttle those to mitochondria, histones, sirtuins, whatever, NRF2 system, wherever. Well, here's the thing that you got to know about this. Hold on.
You better watch out for those.
Trying to catch the sneeze. Here's the thing you got to know about this. Damn, it's another sneeze coming. My name is Minister EnQi. I am the naturopathic doctor and the spokesman for the Melanin Burst Diabetes Ministry. Every time you go to the supermarket without the electrician grocery shopping list, it's like putting a loaded gun to your head. Stop playing Russian roulette with your life. Help us make America great again. Learn how to save time. Learn how to save money with the electrician grocery shopping list on Amazon now. Go to Amazon